Sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
We're brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. Visit chefiq.com. Knicks snap their losing streak, rather make it 2 in a row with the win over the Wizards last night, 119-102. Karl Anthony Towns at 33 points, 13 rebounds, a dominant third quarter for New York where they poured in 41 points. Head coach Mike Brown.
I thought the ball game changed in the second half because defensively we became a more physical team.
Along with Towns, solid night for Jalen Brunson, 16 points, 9 assists. OG Anunoby contributing. Here was Towns.
We're all figuring it out, so getting better every day and, understanding what our roles are and what we got to do. So it's good. We got 2 wins in a row, but, we're obviously still a work in progress.
Knicks now 4-3. The Nets continue to be winless, 0-7, losing to the T-Wolves 125-109. Couple of former Knicks playing big. Julius Randle, the triple-double. Dante DiVincenzo at 25. Monday Night Football, Cardinals beat the Cowboys 27-17. Today, the trade deadline of the NFL. Dallas acquiring Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson this morning for a 7th-round draft pick. Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, Cody Bellinger all opting out on Monday to become free agents. NHL tonight, the Rangers home for the Hurricanes. The Islanders host the Bruins. Season opening wins for St. John's, Seton Hall, and UConn. This report brought to you by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. They are Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Also brought to you by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit BenzFam.com. 54 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN. Now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We talked about it yesterday, BT, alluding to it. I never felt 100% sure, and who the hell knows with these reports? You have no idea until we see what's going on, but I never felt like the Giants organization was at a point where they were going to still, the idea of marrying Shane and Dable and getting them both out. I think that's the right thing to do, but I never felt like that was where they were at. And then you see the report in the Post yesterday. You wake up to the headline this morning, split ticket, not so fast. Paul Schwartz writing about it, the idea that maybe, in fact, the Giants would keep one and not the other, which would mean they would probably keep Joe Shane and not Brian Dable, which to me would just be an epic disaster and failure any which way you slice it.
I don't know how they don't see it the way we see it. I don't know that every team always has to see what we see, but this one to me is pretty clear. And if that's the case, if they don't see it the way you and I both see it here, that's a problem because neither individual has distinguished themselves enough over the other to be elevated over the other. I mean, if it's a split ticket, which means, one's coming, possibly one stays, one goes, well, if Brian Dable stays and Shane goes, what the hell's Dable done to distinguish himself enough to get some separation from Joe Shane? And the same thing with Joe Shane. I mean, if you're going to get rid of Dable, you're basically saying, well, Shane's done a really good job, so we're going to keep him. He's done a better job than Dable. And I don't think that that's the case. I mean, what are they, 2-14 against Philly and Dallas? Look at their record in the NFC East. Look at the stats defensively. Look at the empty seats. Look at the apathy. Are you kidding me? Split ticket.
Yeah, if anything, I would make the case for, and I've been saying this for a while, but even more so now, I would make the case that Brian Dable is better at his job than Joe Shane is at his. And if I had to pick one, if they said, gun to your head, Sal, you have to pick one of these two guys to stay and turn the Giants around moving forward, I would pick Brian Dable. And I don't even think it's particularly close. Not only the record and resume that he has as a coach and who he's coached under and all those different things, talking about not as a head coach, obviously, but as a coach throughout the course of his career as a coordinator, but also the fact that he wanted to go get Jackson Dart and the way that he's worked with Jackson Dart so far. That, to me, is the most tangible thing out of the tandem in the 4 years is what Dable has done with Dart, selecting Dart and then working with him the way that he has. I mean, there were reports saying that Dable wanted to take Dart at number 3 overall. So the fact that they were able to trade up and get his guy later in the draft and the fact that it's worked and looked the way that it has, if anything, if I were having to split them up, I would keep Brian Dable. Now, I would fire both. I think they could do better, the Giants can. But the idea that you would split them up, like that's worse than the worst case scenario of thinking, well, you're going to have a quarterback that was picked by a different regime with a new regime. That's bad scenario. Even worse than that to me would be keeping Joe Schoen in place and firing Brian Dable.
Remember the conversations around Joe Douglas? Well, he drafted this guy and he drafted that guy, and look what he did here, and he got this guy and he got that. Look at the roster. Well, when there's no wins and there's no sustained success, I just don't want to hear it anymore. I mean, I could ride that wave for a year, maybe two. But you've got to show me something tangibly here. I just don't see it. I don't know. I'd love to know, and I don't question the report at all. I think Paul's been doing this for a long time. I think he's good. I think he's well-sourced. But, like, the basis for that report today, to me, I don't understand it at all. It's like Sunday was such a painful reinforcement where the franchise is. And to see a story a day or two later that somebody might be viewed more favorably than the other, I think it really is the height of ludicrous. I don't get it.
Well, and how about the fact that if they did, it would be Joe Schoen? Like, I don't understand that argument. How do you make the argument for Joe Schoen and not Brian Dable?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But I'm not going to make the argument for Dable either. The thing about this, and this is why it's crazy, too, because as bad as it seems, and it's bad, the one thing that I said yesterday, and there are a few silver linings here. I mean, listen, you look at the Chargers' job. If Herbert's not the quarterback, right, Jim Harbaugh's not going there. So I do think that this is going to be a very appealing job if they clean house. I truly do. Now, because of Jackson Dart. One thing that we talked about yesterday, it's an interesting, and you brought this up, and it's an interesting way to look at it. Like, we've got the trade deadline today at 4, right? There's some pieces around the league that can absolutely help teams that are contenders or on the cusp of being a contender that if the Giants part with, they could get some real draft capital that could really accelerate their rebuild, which would also be now appealing to, I think, a proven general manager. The problem is, and I agree with you on this, if you start wheeling and dealing today, now you're taking away or you're running the risk of Joe Schoen trying to save his behind and doing things that could sacrifice things down the future or down the road. So they're in a very, very odd space. All I know is there's one thing that I believe in. That's the quarterback. I don't believe in Dable. I don't believe in Schoen. I don't even believe in ownership at this point to do the right thing. So this report to me is not a good thing. Like, I don't wake up if I'm a Giants fan and say, all right, yeah, there's a moment of clarity. Giants seem like they know what they're doing. To me, this offers more confusion because I don't think either man should be back with all due respect.
Which is also why I think that while I'm not an advocate of just saying, well, fire everybody now, I think that they need to make some moves now. Like, I would not. I told you yesterday I put a freeze on Joe Schoen. And today might be telling. If the Giants do make a move, whether it's adding somebody for Jackson Dart, which a couple of weeks ago I was all for, regardless of their record, I do think it would benefit Jackson Dart just having another weapon here. And if you're going to get a wide receiver, you could get him under control for next year, whatever, depending on what the options are. But I would not want Joe Schoen making that decision because I want to fire Joe Schoen. So how could, if ownership is thinking about moving on from these guys, why would you ever let them make a decision? And if they do make a trade or two or whatever happens here ahead of the deadline today, then maybe that's telling that they do want to keep Joe Schoen. The reports were last year that they favored Joe Schoen. I mean, they were coming out basically saying we like the draft. I don't know what they need to, like, what they're seeing that they like the draft. Maybe it's that all 22. Oh, yeah, they're watching the film and they're breaking it down and they like what they see. Wow. Because it can't be the results, BT, because the results aren't there. So, but they were, for whatever odd reason, they, as the Giants organization, seem to be more in the camp of Schoen than Dable, where I would be the exact opposite. But the idea that you would keep either of them at this point is comical. And why would you, like, that's why I would just move on, not let Schoen do anything, move on from him eventually. I don't know who's going to take over in the interim, but I would also move on from Dable and just leave no more questions to be asked. Let Kafka handle the offensive, decisions moving forward with Dart, and then bring in new people next year.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, the quicker that you do this, the better jump start you get on the off season, right, which is obviously really good. But think about, it's advantageous if you hire the right person. You can still get a 3-month head start and not do the right thing. So, I mean, it's just, here we are. I can't. I really, Sal, I can't. We're sitting here. I got to just say this again. They're 2-14 against Philly and Dallas. The measuring stick of pride, the measuring stick of divisional supremacy, which they haven't sniffed in a while. And we are having a conversation that one of these men might be back. I really just don't get it. I'm obviously not supporting it. I don't agree with it. If that's what they think, then that's what they think. But I just, man, if I ran the show here, there's no way in hell I'm bringing these men back. I'm just not.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Dom is calling from Edgewater, starting us off. What's up, Dom?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
What's up, Dom?
Very good, thank you. I listened to what you guys said, and first of all, thank you for allowing me to start your show off. That's really cool. Listen, with Daboll and Dart, I know what you guys are saying. You don't want to get rid of both of them, but I just look at the NFL, and I look at the quarterbacks and the coaches in this league, and you could obviously tell that Daboll wanted Dart from the start in the draft, and you can honestly see how Dart has improved over time and how the team offensively looks better under Jackson Dart than Russell Wilson. Having said that, here's the changes I would make moving forward. Okay, I would actually keep Daboll, because the problem is if you fire Daboll, then, which coach are you going to be able to fit in with Jackson Dart's style? That's the only complaint. That was the only complaint I would have.
Now, hold on a second there, Dom. The style to me is very appealing because I think he's a multi-style quarterback. I think that's more applicable if you've got somebody that's like a one-way ticket that is all throw and no run, or all run and no throw. He can do both. So I think any real offensive philosophy fits his skill set. I think it's easier.
Okay, well, maybe that's the case. But I'm just saying, if Daboll wanted Dart that much and Daboll liked Jackson Dart that much and had developed a relationship, wouldn't you want to keep the coach that has a quarterback with a good relationship rather than, start all over again? Granted, I get it, you made all the points.
If you had to keep one or the other, yes. If you had to keep Shane or Daboll, then yes, I'm agreeing with you, Dom, that I would keep Daboll. But you don't have to. And both have been bad. So while he selected Dart and it seems to be developing him and the offense is better, I actually want, me personally, I would value a head coach, get this, wait for it, that wins football games. That's what I care about. You mentioned Harbaugh before, BT, going to the Chargers just because of Herbert. Wherever Harbaugh would have went, he would have won football games. Some jobs are more appealing than others because they have better pieces in place. Harbaugh's a winning coach. Sean Payton, same thing. He went to a spot that had Russell Wilson that was a disaster. He cleaned that disaster up, found his quarterback that nobody else liked, went to the playoffs a year ago. Right now he's got the best team in the NFL, arguably, going to be in the playoffs again. So good coaches can turn things around. So that's why, Dom, when you say keep Daboll, I would answer, why? He just continues to lose.
Yeah, but also keep in mind that the NFL didn't all help the Giants out either with the schedule that they gave, and it was
my God, Dom!
What about last year?
Buddy.
Thanks for the call, Dom.
The schedule. The schedule's out years in advance, so they didn't help. They didn't help the Giants out because of the schedule.
Dom, come on.
Wow, Dom. All right.
How was that schedule week 2 when you had the Cowboys beat? How was it when you lost to the Saints? The Saints have one win on the season. Was that a tough game? The schedule. New Orleans. How about Denver, which actually is a very difficult matchup? You had a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter. The schedule is not an excuse for why the Giants are where they are.
No, not for any team. Listen, I think that it's being positioned that Jackson Dart is incredibly fragile. There's no way he can have success the rest of his career if they take the training wheels known as Brian Daboll away from him. And I think that's absolutely ludicrous. I really do. I think he was coached by Lane Kiffin in Ole Miss, who it's a pro offense. This young man walked in here and the first week he basically distinguished himself, and that's why a lot of people said, well, maybe he should play early. You knew right away that Jackson Dart had a skill set. We didn't know when he'd play, but that conversation began because he showed signs of being the guy. So I think he's far more resilient, far more talented, and far more adaptable than some people. Not everybody, but then some people are making it out to be.
But then why would you have Kiffin be the first choice? Because a lot of the thought process with Kiffin is, he coached him at Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's funny. I threw that out a while ago. You start to see that a little bit more. I'm not saying he's the first choice for me. I'm definitely not saying he's the first choice. I mean, the Raiders thing was a disaster, but it was also a long time ago, and I do believe he's matured. What I would like to do is I would at least like to have the opportunity. Now, I don't even know who this person is yet. And this kind of ties into the trade deadline. If the Giants, but also maybe you shouldn't let him trade because you don't know Shane's going to be here. So it's one convoluted, twisted mess. But the more draft assets the Giants, if they could accrue some serious stuff today, you can make a massive swing and trade for somebody that right now doesn't seem very plausible.
You're talking about a head coach.
Yes, that we're not even thinking about. You see, you can't do that when you need a quarterback because you've got to devote those resources to either move up the draft board or whatever it takes to get the quarterback. When you've got the quarterback, you can be bold in trying to get the head coach.
And they've got to be thinking the stars, the moon, all
Grand slam they got to be thinking because they got the quarterback.
Even me, I'm saying that to myself because I'm like, well, I like Flores, and I do like Flores. I don't know if this is the best spot.
Yeah, I know.
That.
I don't know about that either. I like them too.
They've got to be thinking time to rip up the carpets and the undercarriage.
Let's go
and let's get this whole thing for
get a star in here for this kid.
Sports Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus, streaming November 16th on Paramount Plus. It's the return of Landman from Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone. Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton is back, featuring Academy Award nominees Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, and Sam Elliott. Landman, new season streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus. Ari is calling from West Orange. What's up, Ari?
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks so much for taking the call.
You got it, buddy. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Look, anyone who thinks Dable should stay here for Dart, I'm sorry, that is absolute insanity. Dable, Giants fans got to wake up. Brian Dable has won 11 games since the back end of that ludicrous 2022 season, which frankly set this organization back a couple of years. I'm 50-50 on Shane. I sort of be okay if you want to keep him, but I hear what you're saying. The draft picks and the things. I don't know. I'm not sure if you could trust him for another year, and that's fine. Dable, 100% though, was gone. Like I said, the time for Dart is ridiculous. And guys, just what I think you guys are hitting on it. What this organization needs with the head coach, with the GM, first and foremost, it's just a culture reset. You look at what's going on since Tom Coughlin was the head coach. Every coach they have hired has been an absolute disaster. And I'll just use the Lions as a comparison real quick. Dan Campbell comes in year one, they go 1-15. But you could tell there was a change in culture happening, even though they were bad that year. And now, obviously,
that's it. But Ari, hold on a second. Hold on. It's easy to say that now.
That's what the Giants need.
Hold on, Ari.
First, without a doubt. Somebody like that.
It's easy to say that now about the Lions situation. I could promise you.
True. Right.
In real time, if you're doing this in Detroit, I don't know that it was quite as identifiable. So I have to mitigate risk with the next hire, and there's a lot of people.
Campbell, right? Campbell may not have been a good example, but I just really feel the Giants need a culture changer. That's what I really think they need. These guys, again, know nothing but losing. Losing breeds losing. Dable is a loser. They will continue to lose with him as head coach. And the Giants need to bring in a winner. I don't know who it is. You want to argue Flores, something like that. Whoever it is, it's got to be a winner.
But why are you 50-50 on Shane, though? That's my issue. Why are you 50-50 on Shane?
That's a good question. I'm trying to answer that in my head, too.
Okay.
You're right, because the draft picks have been, a lot of them, an absolute bust. And it just might be a matter of they may not have choice but to clean house.
Right.
But the other thing is the ownership, guys. With John Mara, unfortunately, with his health, and we all pray that he's going to be healthy and be better. But that worries me too. How healthy is he, and is he seeing things the right way because of the health? So there's just so much in flux right now, and it's really just a really not a great place to be in as a Giants fan at this point in time.
It's not. But imagine not having a quarterback. I mean, so that's the worst place to be. So at least that's the saving grace. And the thing about Mr. Mara, and we're all rooting for him, and we hope he's going to be okay, and we expect that. I mean, I shouldn't say we all hope. I don't know. We just pray, right? I would say this, that the process of hiring somebody is very daunting, and it takes a lot of time. And I don't know where he is, how he feels medically. And if that's the case, I don't know.
I've got to put the health aside. I have no idea. I mean, obviously, I read the report. We know what was going on, and our best wishes with him and prayers and all that stuff. But they got to make a football decision here. We're talking about running the team. So, yes, health is a priority, but that's a separate show on a different station. Like, if we're going to get into that stuff, then why even, the Giants' win-loss record and who they hire is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things if you're talking about the health of Mr. Mara. So I'm going to choose to separate that and just say whoever is making these decisions needs to make the right decision for once and for all, especially that they got the quarterback here. And that decision, to me, cannot include splitting up Shane and Dable. Based on what those two have done together, they both have earned losing their jobs. Like, I hate to say that, but they both deserve to go. And if you're going to keep one, I could at least put some more eggs in the basket of Dable than I could Joe Schoen. I don't know what Joe Schoen has done here that anybody would say, well, we've got to bring Joe Schoen back.
I don't know how he stands out either as the one, that could be brought back. I just don't get that at all. I don't see it. I don't feel it. I haven't seen it at all here with Joe Schoen. But I think that the thing that's a little worrisome to me is that if they're still evaluating this, and it appears like they are,
correct,
then you very well might get a little Hail Mary with a couple of wins at the end of the season, which you and I have talked about, where the schedule does get a little bit softer here. And that could be fool's gold because, you could beat the Raiders and I forget who else, maybe the Commanders, without Jaden Daniels, whatever.
Vikings on it.
Yeah, the Vikings. You win a game or two or maybe even three, I think it sets up a false sense of accomplishment, which I don't think is good for the overall health or really reflective of where they are as a team, quite frankly.
Sometimes the worst thing about the decisions is the indecision. Just make a decision. And that's why I'd like to see them be definitive now and get ahead of it and say, we've seen enough to know Dable ain't it. It's never a pleasant conversation.
I hate him.
It's not a good thing.
It's not fun.
But you like, how could, if we all could make our definitive decision and we give them credit for being patient, because a lot of us, you and I included, would have done this a year ago and had a new regime select the new quarterback with the top pick in the draft or wherever they wanted to take one. They didn't. They gave them extra year on top of it. Let them go at it. They're 2-7. And by the way, look at what the Cardinals, how come the Cardinals can beat the Cowboys, but the Giants can't? Like, it happens in the NFL. The Giants have just been losers. That's it. End of story. This regime has had too much losing. So be decisive about it now. You don't need to see what's going to happen in the final 8 weeks. Just say definitively, as tough as it may be, those are the tough decisions. You got to make them. Get rid of them. Move on. Do it now, and then have a fresh start in the offseason. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see AC/DC Power Up Tour coming to MetLife Stadium September 25th, 2026, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. It's all from the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
For over 92 years, Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer in New York. And right now, with low rates, it's the perfect time to lock in your price for winter before cold weather pushes prices up. Don't wait. Call today and lock in your savings and enjoy a worry-free season. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter, warmer tomorrow for almost a century, backed by superior services and unmatched reliability. When it comes to your home heat, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freezetherate.com or call 718-238-1050.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name, Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit BenzFam.com.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court. And you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. 1 token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. from Staten Island to Southampton. Our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan truck or SUV and feel unstoppable. Whether you want to take your next level of adventure in the Frontier Dark Armor, the Pathfinder, the Armada, or the Rogue, you'll be ready for what comes your way. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum. Visit jdpower.com/awards for information based on 2025 model year 2026 Rogue from new dealer stock. 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price. See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
DreamWorks Water Park at American Dream. Just minutes from Manhattan. Over 40 rides, record-breaking slides, and the world's largest indoor wave pool. Tickets start at $59. Book your visit today at AmericanDream.com.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
We'll get to the Knicks from last night. We'll do that coming up at 11 o'clock. Obviously, trade deadline day. And it is the season, BT. Lots of off-season hot stove stuff starting to heat up here. I think free agency officially begins Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's go, baby.
5 days after the World Series. So the rumors are going to be starting fast and furious with that. So we get into that a little bit as well. But with the NFL trade deadline today, to me, it is going to be telling about the Giants' belief in Joe Shane. And I do truly believe at Mara's core, he wants to find every reason or be given every reason to keep this thing intact and see this through with Shane and Dable. He gave him another year going into this season. They drafted their quarterback. I'm sure he, like everybody else, loves Jackson Dart and is excited about, Neighbors and Scatterbo when they get healthy. Maybe he's going to make excuses for them. Maybe he believes in Shade a little bit more than we do, certainly. But he's looking for every reason possible. Maybe he's going to try to evaluate the final 8 games of this year. To me, that's a colossal mistake. And I think that I do get the feeling that if they were ready to move on from Dable a year ago, I think they're even more ready to move on from Dable now. And if anything, I think they're going to get it the wrong way, meaning that if you're going to keep one, Dable, to me, would be the guy to keep, not Joe Shane. And I feel like if they do split him up, they're going to end up keeping Joe Shane, which I'd like to see somebody give me some kind of evidence. I saw a report today. Giants looking to trade Evan Neal.
Yeah. Who wants him? Trade Evan Neal.
You're going to trade Evan Neal for what?
He was finally active.
You couldn't even upgrade the MetLife turf for Evan Neal. Like, you're not getting squat for him.
I know.
He's
saw
horrible.
That too. I like trade Evan Neal.
You selected him. Like they've got Joe Shane has just been bad, and the record speaks for itself. I don't want to go on a witch hunt for the guy. I don't even care. Personally, I don't know him. I don't care to know him. I don't care to know Dable or any of them. All I care about is when we sit down on Sunday to watch football, I want to see a winning, competent football team. And in the last 3 seasons, through the first 9 weeks of each year, the Giants' record has been 2-7. That's like, that's the kindest, easiest way to say they all suck and they all need to go. End of story.
Yeah, we don't have to yell to get that point across, even though we have over the last couple of days and over the last couple of years. Everybody's heard the rants, everybody's heard the moans, and do this and fire that guy. We are where we are, and that's the sad reality of where we are. You know, I said to you a few times, I'm very curious. I'm gonna weave Cohen into the conversation for a moment. So I find it interesting when powerful, successful people are embarrassed. Okay, how do they respond? And this year, I think certainly unlike a year ago for Cohen, which it was really good a year ago, the way they finished, almost in the World Series, this year he's got to be embarrassed. And I think that you will see a very different offseason approach, more cutthroat. Well, a lot of coaches were fired, and I think that's going to be very revealing how he pounces this offseason. I think to bring Mr. Mara back in the Giants' vision, I think that he has been very aware recently of how the instability of the Giants, how it's kind of begun to replicate that of the Jets, which is nothing that you want. So I do think that he is, and they are, as a group, as an ownership group, looking for reasons to keep people rather than move on. Because the coaching cycle and the volatility, it's not good for their brand. And let's face it, guys, I mean, the Jets brand is nothing anyway, and really never has been, but the Giants brand was platinum. Yeah,
but is the key.
Well, that's what I mean.
Dude, they've been flying planes over for years.
I know, and it's eroded to the point now where it's no longer remotely identifiable to what it was here. So while I think that they want to probably resist that, all right, let's fire this guy and start over again. At the end of the day, I don't think that they will be able to. So no matter what report we read today, I still think that it's over for both men.
It's different this time. The Giants did the right thing. They did the kind thing. They tried to have continuity and stability and see this through until definitively they needed to know. And I'm okay with that. Like, I would have been preemptive here. I would have been aggressive as far as not waiting this year because I expected this to be the case. But even imagine how bad it is that even with them striking gold with the quarterback in the draft when they did, it's still not even close to good enough. Like, that's a play. I did not see that path developing.
I think it's even worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you actually find the quarterback and you still can't win.
Yeah.
I figured, well, they're probably not going to find the quarterback. By the time they do, it's going to be too late anyway, even if they're given the chance to do that. Not only did they were given the chance to find the quarterback, they found the quarterback. He proves to be good immediately. Mm-hmm. Not just like, I think this kid's got something here. Like, he's good immediately. And they still are screwing these games up every which way. At least Mara or whoever's making these decisions can sit back and say, I know it's not him by himself, but whoever's making the decisions can sit back and say, I gave them every opportunity. The results are what they are. I didn't just make rash decisions and firing guys after 2 years or one bad year, or he did all that he could do. It's just time to move on for the betterment of the brand, the organization, for the betterment of the quarterback, all of it. Like, it's over for both. You can't. I don't want to hear any halfway stuff. And if the Giants, think that there is merit to keeping Joe Schoen, then to me, all hope is lost because I can't even see a competent argument in favor of Joe Schoen.
No, and I agree. Think about some of the things that, plague certain teams. I mean, obviously a lack of talent is paramount, but hey, we're young. Like, hey, we're young. We're not there yet. We're young. We're learning how to play, and we're learning how to be pros. Or, man, we got a pretty talented roster, but we're just not very healthy this year. Some rough circumstances, some tough losses, right? Some bad breaks. That's the NFL. Everybody gets banged up, right? Well, the thing about the Giants, whether it was Drew Lock or DeVito or Russell Wilson the first couple of games, what would the Giants look like with competent play at the quarterback position? And really Andrew Thomas, who's been back and been great. Because that's another excuse. Well, Andrew Thomas doesn't play. We can't function on the most basic level. Thomas is back. Thomas has been great. Quarterback's really good, very promising, and the defense is the worst in football. And that's why you have to go to Joe Schoen. Like, to me, there's nothing that can obscure the job that he has done, or maybe more specifically has not done.
Chris is calling from Hackenstown, New Jersey. What's up, Chris?
Yo, Chris, what's up?
Hey, Phyllis, thanks for having me. I guess I'm a little shocked that you two don't feel you could sit in the Giants front office and say that you can decipher who did a better job and why potentially Schoen should stay.
Go ahead.
If I'm running the team, I'm saying to myself, listen, it's about getting talent on the field and then coaching that talent into wins. Shane's done the talent part, not to perfection, clearly. Evan Neal, awful pick. Deontay Banks, awful pick. But the man has got us. Paying Burns over Saquon, people are going to fight it. It's the right move. The man.
Well, how about Darius Slayton? How about signing him over
36
Saquon?
mil.
I'm with you on that. So I would throw that in the bag.
Jalen Hyatt.
Banks, Darius Slayton money.
How about Newbin?
But how about, who? Franchise quarterback, franchise edge rusher, franchise wide receiver. Douglas in the Jets, he went out because his attempt at a franchise quarterback was brutal. So
yeah, but Shane didn't even really want Jackson Dart.
Wait, now you're basing that off of like the draft night thing. Wasn't he saying to Daboll, like, hey, we did our research. Let's do this thing. He said, let's roll the dice. I don't understand why people are saying
the reports are that Daboll was the one who really wanted Dart. Now, I'm going to give them both credit because they did it. They executed the trade. Shane executed the trade, got up, took Dart. So I think they both get credit for it. But the thought or the reports were that Daboll was the one who was really pushing for Jackson Dart.
Yeah, and I've heard those reports, and all I could do is go back to that draft night moment between the two of them, and you hear Shane saying, "Let's roll the dice. We did our research."
Who's in control? Who's in control of the roster for game day as far as like the kickers go?
I think Daboll.
Yeah.
It's got to be both. Come on.
GM has nothing to do with that. Chris, you can make it. You want to make an argument for Shane. It's going to be a tough battle, but then you can't. To me, if you're going to keep Shane, you can't justify firing Daboll. The talent is not enough. I'm sorry, it's just not enough defensively. So you could say that it's better than what you think it should be. It's just not enough. And Daboll's been a mess as well. Daboll has not made the team better outside of the first year. By the way, Daboll the first year at least got them to the playoffs and won a game. That to me is more on him than it is Joe Shane. What exactly has Joe Shane done? You still haven't given it to me.
I just told you, franchise everything. You name a position on the starting team that we need that he...
Yeah,
who's the franchise lineman he took?
It's got to translate to wins at some point, Chris. That's good after a year or two. What's that?
Carter, franchise lineman is Carter.
We're not saying there's no good players. Thanks for the call there,
Chris.
Chris.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah, we're not saying there's no good players on the team, obviously, here. See, but, there's got to be a measurement. There's got to be a scoreboard, guys. Otherwise, we could just sit here and say, every bad team in our town, we could try to offer context as to why it didn't work out. Hey, maybe better coaching, this draft pick would have been better. At the end of the day, do you win or do you lose? Let's not overthink this here, guys. So to me, there should be, unless they won like seven straight or something crazy, which is never going to happen. But for me, right now, under no circumstance should both men be back, number one. Number two, there is no way that Daboll should be back and Shane should not, and no way that the other way, meaning it's either both out or it's really both out, okay? And see, the problem, too, is even if you want to make a case, as our last caller was trying to do, to bring back Shane, well, what coach is going to come here and work for a GM who's hanging by a thread? And when I say a coach, I mean somebody with experience, which is what they need. You can get a coordinator. You can get somebody unproven. You can elevate Kafka. But are you telling me, because my bold move is you got to trade for somebody that's actually won, that knows how to run the building and get this team out of choppy waters and into calm seas? What guy that's done that is coming to work with a lame duck GM? Who?
Yeah. Franchise everywhere. Franchise where? Quarterback, yes, I'll give you that. Where's the offensive lineman? Where's that from? Thomas is a Dave Gettleman holdover. So where is Joe Shane hit on the offensive line exactly? You're what? You're going to give him credit for Malik Neighbors? Anybody could have picked Malik Neighbors. That doesn't take a rocket science. Same thing with Abdul Carter. We all would have taken Abdul Carter at number 3. Joe Shane's going to get credit for that. And by the way, it'd be nice to see Abdul Carter actually start wrecking some games for a change. I'm not trying to pick on the kid, but good God, when you have franchise everywhere and you're referencing Kayvon Thibodeau, you're referencing Abdul Carter, you're referencing Brian Burns. Burns, to me, is the only one who's come to play this year, really consistently. And even with that, their defense is still one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So where is it adding up? It's obviously a little bit on the coach. It's a lot of it on the talent evaluator as well, and the guy that he's brought in. It's on everybody. It's why they all need to go. I don't know how you could sit there with a straight face, though, and try to make a strong case in favor of Joe Shane. You said, the caller said, quote, franchise everywhere. I'm asking franchise where? Outside of the quarterback, where? Has Abdul Carter looked like Micah Parsons? Has Kayvon Thibodeau done what he was supposed to do for a top pick?
No, we know the answer.
I'm not saying those guys are bust or they won't be good, but come on, dude. They're nowhere near where they were supposed to be. Burns was a great trade. I loved it at the time. Again, you're going to get Brian Burns. Yeah, that's great. You took advantage of a weak Panthers team and your buddy, whatever the hell his name is, that Shane's buddies with, and he was able to get Brian Burns in here, who's a high-level talent.
Imagine if he wasn't here.
Yeah, think about it. He's a high-level talent.
40 a week?
So Joe Shane's brilliance led the Giants to selecting Malik Neighbors. Wow, what a find. Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, and Brian Burns. Wow. I mean, that is impressive, BT.
I mean, listen, and it's they're not valueless. Nobody's saying that. It's not like Joe Shane can't go somewhere else and do a good job. But my thing is, there's got to be a point where you can look in the mirror and say it doesn't work for whatever reason. Maybe it's not old Joe's fault. Maybe it's not old Dable's fault. I think when you're this bad for this long, I think there's a lot of checkpoints that malfunction. And I think starting with ownership. I've said that for a while. I think the Giants kind of stopped being the Giants when things went sideways with Coughlin. And, you kind of chasing your tail ever since. So they are good football men. They just they have not done the job here. And it's okay to say that, guys.
Right. And if anything, again, I'll give you the year one, Dable, coach of the year. Took a team that didn't have any talent to the playoffs and won a playoff game. Big check in Dable's box.
Massive.
And then this final year, identifying Dart being the guy, going to Dart when he did, and having Dart and the offense take leaps and bounds from where they were with Russell Wilson under center. That's another check in the favor of Dable. It wouldn't be enough for me to keep them here, but at the very least, I could give you two legitimate, tangible things in 4 years that I would at least show Dable has some kind of, backing to be given more runway to me than Joe Shane. What exactly has Joe Shane done?
Nothing.
Right.
I mean, in terms of the wins. So they've been here together now for a couple of years, and the only good year they had was when they inherited what they had. If you really think about that. So you can make more of a case than Dable, even though I would move on from both, as I've said. But Shane's influence on the year one roster was minimal. And then obviously each year since, more. 2-7, 2-7, 2-7. The 1 year where they actually do something, it wasn't his roster. So that's more Dable.
If you're tired of dealing with neck pain, backaches, even sciatica, stop messing around. Go see the guys at Samwell Institute for Pain Management. That's Dr. Shah, Dr. Ko, and Dr. Sitapra. They've got offices in Colonia, Englewood, and Livingston. And here's the best part. They focus on non-opioid, minimally invasive, non-surgical treatments, real solutions that can actually get you back to feeling like yourself again. Check out the thousands of 5-star reviews that trust Samwell. So turn to Samwell Pain for relief. Go to SamwellPain.com. That's SamwellPain.com. This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Hall of Famer Devin Hester. The 43-year-old former Bears star was the first return specialist enshrined in Canton. According to Hester, players that get into the Hall of Fame do stuff that's never been done before. So he makes the Hall of Fame case for former teammate Charles Tillman, father of the peanut punch that forced 44 fumbles. And I would agree. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Who's ready to hit the ice? It'll be another exciting hockey season with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss any of the action on the ice by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards may vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate Pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more. So you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Want the best deal on Bridgestone winter tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get Bridgestone tires at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, you get more free services than anywhere else. When you combine Town Fair's guaranteed lowest price with the most free services, you get the guaranteed best deals anywhere on your Bridgestone winter tires. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And you know we mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call here. So the Cowboys make a trade this morning, getting the linebacker from the Bengals. Okay, Cowboys stink anyway. You saw last night. That's the thing, BT. And by the way, actually, you might not have seen last night. I did not watch it. Did you see about this?
I heard who was saying, Gio was saying this, right? He couldn't find the game, something like that?
YouTube TV. So I have YouTube TV. Yeah. I had to, because just where I was, I had to cut the cord. It didn't make any sense. The service that I was getting wasn't good enough. YouTube TV is my thing. And it's frustrating. That leads me then to have to go to the Gotham Sports app to get the Knicks and Rangers. It's just, dude. I don't even want to get into it because I'm going to probably, I don't know who's sponsored here or whatever.
Yeah.
But
how about, is it worth the money that you save? Leave it at that.
It's to me, it's not about saving money.
Oh,
that's what I'm telling you.
More of a consolidation.
I did not cut cable to save costs. I need the best product. Give me the best product with ease. Make my life easier. And the product that I had when I first moved into Jersey was one that it was all wireless anyway.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I want the hard cable. Give me the cable from the ground.
Let's go.
Through the damn cement and the foundation.
Yeah.
Plug it in and let's go. I don't have to worry about the service or the streaming thing.
I totally agree.
But it wasn't that way anyway.
All right.
And then when that wasn't working well enough, I said, well, if I have to be all streaming, I might as well do the best streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I switched. So I have YouTube TV. Disney, I guess, and ESPN have an issue now with YouTube TV. They're at one of these standstills.
Oh, God.
And if you have YouTube TV, you don't have access to, I guess, Channel 7. I don't even watch TV enough to really have it impact me. But last night, the one spot that maybe I'd flip on the game, now I was watching the Knicks anyway, and I really don't care about the Cowboys-Cardinals. Like, if there's a game to miss, that would be the one. But yeah, people who have YouTube TV, inconvenience again. And I've had it. I've had it with going to different, well, if you get this bundle, then you can access this. But then you need that bundle. You need Prime. You need Netflix. You need HBO Max. You need Disney. You need Hulu.
Everything you said I have. Oh,
yeah,
God.
dude,
Peacock.
It's out of control.
St. John's on Peacock a couple times this year. Peacock.
It's out of control. And it's not just the cost, which is an issue for some people. And it's an issue for me too, but that's not my primary concern. My primary concern is I don't want 50 different streaming services and different sign-ins and logins on every damn TV I go to. There's got to be another login with what channel is this game on tonight? What server? I've had it up to here. So, in summation, if the game's not on Channel 7, I don't care. I won't watch it anymore, especially a game that I really don't care anything about. Point is, if the Cardinals can beat the Cowboys, why do the Giants make it so difficult to win a football game?
Oh, man, I don't know. See, I heard Greg talking about that this morning a little bit, and I got in the car like midway through the conversations. I didn't really... I'm saying, well, how the hell could he not watch the Monday night game?
Right.
Because I got home from St. John's around 10, and I put it on, and I watched it.
Right.
Didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched it for a little bit. I mean, listen, dude, I'm with you. And I've said this many times. Like, when I do the Yankees and the Mets juggle every single night, and, when it's like one's on Prime or one's on Apple, if I finally figured out how to go back and forth and toggle it, but for about a year or two, my son had to do it for me. So if he wasn't home or he was sleeping, then I would have to just watch one game, even if it wasn't the game that I wanted to watch. It really does drive me nuts. But here's my drop dead point where I'm not doing it anymore. If I've got to watch the Knicks on an app, it's over.
Yeah, well,
I'm not doing that.
It's a major problem, and here's the worst part of it. Like, YouTube TV is so good in that...
What's so good about it? I still don't even understand it.
It's tremendous. I've never had an issue with the streaming, and the multi-views are fantastic. So the majority of time, let's say the Mets are playing Sunday night and the Giants are playing Sunday night, or whatever. Right. Yankees are playing Sunday night.
You got a little conflict, things you want to watch.
Boom. A split screen. It's so simple.
Like right in half, bang, bang?
Yes. It's so simple, but it's genius. And I could just switch my thumb to get the sound on whichever one I want, but I have them both up at one time. Football Sundays, I got the quadrant up. Okay, whatever. You could also watch the pregame stuff. You could watch news stuff. Like, multi-view that's where we're at. It's 2025, about to be 2026. Like, you should be able to watch multiple things on one screen at a time. So YouTube excels at that. However, because I can't get the Knicks or MSG on YouTube TV, I have to now go to a separate app, and then once I'm into that app watching Knicks Wizards, even though it's a blowout, I can't
go back to what you can't split it up.
I have to get out of the app.
Oh, God.
Go to YouTube.
This is what I'm saying.
So, like, I wish that YouTube TV or a provider like that should now, like, it shouldn't just be YouTube TV. Other streaming services should be able to split screen and have multi-view options, but they should all be in one place. I'll pay for it. I just want it all in one place. So if I wanted to watch the Knicks last night and some random NBA game and the Monday Night Football game, I should be able to do that. It shouldn't be, I'm locked into the Gotham Sports app, so I got to watch the Knicks, and then when that's done or when I feel like the game's over, I could go back and seek out the football game, which, by the way, I couldn't even get because there's the dispute with ABC.
Dude, so we got these new remotes, right? And for about 3 or 4 days, I could not. I go to Apple. I'm like, what's the password? I have no idea. My wife's got it all. We go to, I'm trying to go to all the different streams. What's the password? I don't know. So she comes in with her phone. I'm like, you got to help me out with this. And she's scanning, like, I mean, I know that this is basic for, I know this is basic for a lot of people. I'm like, I could not figure this out if my life depended on it. I don't know the codes. I don't have the scan codes. I don't know the passwords. It just They make it too hard to watch a game.
When your kids grow up and move out, you're going to be screwed because you're not going to be able to watch the TV without them. I mean, you just need it now to sign in for this thing.
I know, or I won't watch anything. I'll just become a hermit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're trying to make it seem like here with all the bills and all this stuff. Andrew's in Matawan. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Just circling back to our Giants conversation. I'm totally in your guys' camp. I think the Giants need a total reset, coaching staff and Joe Shane. You can't protect a bad operation just for continuity with Dart. The Patriots got it right. They fired Jared Mayo after May's rookie year. They brought in Mike Vrabel. Now they're leading the AFC East. The Giants should do the same. I think they should hire Steve Spagnuolo as their head coach, defensive guru, multiple rings, multiple teams. Bring in Mike McDaniel as OC when the Miami cuts him loose. Make Antonio Pierce the defensive coordinator, and then name Eagles assistant GM Alec Halaby as the new GM. Guys witnessed some of the best front office management in NFL history. So I think that's a winning staff for Dart.
You've got a pretty good plan there. I mean, the likelihood of all those things happening are fairly low. You hear a lot of Giant fans throw around AP's name, get him in there, get him on the staff. I know he's done a lot of coaching. I'd certainly be okay with that.
You want Spagnuolo as a head coach?
That's where I was going. Because I've got Supreme is a bit strong, but just short of Supreme faith in Jackson Dart to be that guy, I might be a little bit more open to bringing in somebody that's a defensive coach. I'd like to really see what else is available. My main thing, as I've said now for a couple of days, will be to try to trade somebody very boldly, like a big move, and get an established head coach, like a Peyton type. I'm not sure I'm Peyton, but that type. I mean, the defense, if Spags was here, this defense would be phenomenal.
Right, but he's a great defensive coordinator. We've been down this road before.
I know.
Why not just hire Rex Ryan? He's also a great defensive coordinator. I mean, I'd rather go with and I'm not trying to disrespect Spags. I like Spags a lot. But some guys are just great coordinators, not great head coaches. And I personally would not take a chance at this point on another. I'm trying to eliminate the question marks.
Yeah.
Spags comes with question marks.
He does. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying I would do it. I would, of all the coordinators, I would give that some real thought. I'd have to really look at the rest of the staff. I know we threw out some names there. McDaniels from Miami.
How about right now firing? See, this is what I would do if I were running the Giants. I would make the decision that I've seen enough. Like you even said before, well, if they won 7 of 8, there is no more if. Once I make the decision, because if I leave it up to, well, there's 8 more games to go, let's see what happens, then that means you haven't made your decision yet. Mm-hmm. So I said after watching Sunday's performance, I don't care if they go 8-0, which we know is not happening. I've seen enough. I've made my decision. That means my decision would be now. I would fire everybody now, so I didn't have to worry about Shane doing anything at the trade deadline. I just move on from Dable. You move on from that. Have Kafka be the head coach, and I would look to see if you could get Antonio Pierce, wherever the hell he is, and bring him in now to be the defensive coordinator.
That's so hard to bring somebody in the middle of a season.
Yeah,
with
but think
scheme.
about it.
I have no idea how that would even work.
But think about it.
I'm not saying I'm not open to new blood, new juice, new formation.
First of all, their defense cannot get worse. Like we saw last year with Sala and Ulbrich, where it got worse. This cannot get worse as far as the defense goes. So if I'm keeping Kafka in place, who's the right guy to take over for Dable if you moved on from him in season?
He's the only one probably in the building at this point.
I'm looking to light a fire under the guys defensively.
I know what you're saying.
And Antonio Pierce is that guy. Now, I'm not saying you got to be married to him beyond this year, but he would be the short-term jolt potential fit. I mean, the Colts could hire Jeff Saturday out of the broadcast booth in season.
How'd it work, though? How'd it go?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, for a head coach, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm talking defensive coordinator. At least that, to me, would be something that might be somewhat appealing. More of your calls when we come back. We'll get into the Knicks next hour as well. 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 1019 FM.
I hate the coach. I hate the GM. I hate 90% of the roster. But by God, do I have a quarterback. And that's a weird feeling to have.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
FanDuel is putting you in control right from NBA tip-off because every day to start the season, you get to choose your reward. Take your shot with a profit boost. Play it cool with a no-sweat bet. Or get a little backup with a bet back token. Maybe you're a bold bettor, always chasing that big parlay. Or maybe you're the careful strategist who plays it smart. Maybe you are someone who likes to emotionally hedge against your teams and the teams that you hate. The best part is you get to pick the reward that best suits you. So make the pick, get in the game, and play it your way. Head to FanDuel.com/Gio, that's G-I-O, to make your choice. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid fast. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. Visit chefiq.com. The Knicks moved a game over 500 with a win over the Wizards last night. Karl Anthony Towns had 33 points and 13 rebounds. Dominated inside. New York outscoring Washington 41-24 in a dominant third quarter. The Kings signing former Nick Precious Achua today. Meantime, the Nets are 0-7, lost to the T-Wolves 125-109. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys on Monday Night Football 27-17. Trade deadline day in the NFL. Dallas acquiring Cincinnati linebacker Logan Wilson this morning for a 7th-round draft pick. NHL tonight, the Rangers home for the Hurricanes. The Islanders taking on the Bruins. And season-opening wins in college basketball last night for St. John's, Seton Hall, and UConn. This report brought to you by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One world-class brand, one legendary name, Ray Cattina Lexus. Discover Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth, where they proudly sell more Lexus vehicles than any other Lexus dealership in New Jersey. Experience luxury the way it was meant to be. Also brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Current temperature brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in New York. It is 56 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Football Giants. That has been the main theme here for the last couple of days. And, reacting to the thought that maybe, in fact, the Giants would still, this was the thought last year, and then Paul Schwartz again on the Post had it. It was, last night, I guess this morning, whatever the news you get this day, but you nowadays, but you wake up to the back page of the Post, and it's saying split ticket with the idea of maybe the Giants deciding to keep Joe Schoen and moving on from Brian Daboll, which to me would be even the worst disaster, BT, than we would have thought initially if they were to keep them both beyond this year. I still haven't heard somebody make a good argument for Joe Schoen. Callers have tried, and I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. You could have your reasons why you'd want to believe in Joe Schoen. I don't know how anybody can't watch this team play for the last 4 years and look at the roster and see how guys have regressed, see how guys have been bust, and see how guys with even the most talent, it still hasn't resulted in good football. So I just don't understand how anybody could make the case, especially for Joe Schoen, but really keeping the tandem together.
It's pretty basic stuff. General manager is hired to build a roster. And when you build a roster, you draft guys and you sign guys and you cut guys. And does anybody think that this roster is good? I mean, there's a degree of underachievement on the defensive side for sure, but no, I mean, we've gone through this chapter and verse. Some of the wrong money that's been thrown in the wrong direction, and he hasn't whiffed on everything. Nobody's saying that he's failed on everything here, but I mean, this is now basically a 4-year snapshot of roster building and trying to push this franchise out of the doldrums, and they haven't yet done it. So I'm with you. I'm open to it. This is not a hit piece. This is not us trying to just get rid of Joe Schoen. We want the Giants to do well. It's more fun. It's better. Trust us, guys. I always tell you that. Just like with the Jets, all these teams. But when it's not good, we're going to tell you. And we don't really need to tell you, except those of you who seemingly are still a little locked into Joe Schoen doing a better job than you and I perceive him to have done so far.
Well, the Giants might need to be told here. I mean, if they're the ones who were thinking about this,
that's really all that matters. I'm still not fully buying it. Again, it's not to dispel the report. Yeah. I'm not here to, listen, you got sources, you do your thing, whatever, and he's been doing this for a long time. Common sense tells me that unless they are blind, and then there's no way that they can look at this objectively and not feel this as an abject failure on almost every single level. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. That's where I would think that they would be at. That's where most of the fans are at. For those who aren't, that's why the world spins differently, different opinions.
Dan is in Mystic, Connecticut. What's up, Dan?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, Dan. You got it, buddy. What's happening?
Longtime Giants fan, and it's been egregious to watch the team for the last 10 years, and I completely agree with you guys on all accounts about Daboll and Shannon have to be gone. What do you guys think the real possibility is? And I've been thinking about this a lot, about Belichick coming to the Giants. I know people throw it out there and it kind of goes back and forth, but, with the way the team is, and I completely agree that, there's got to be a huge, complete shift in culture. And I've never been a hotshot coordinator kind of fan. I think it's a huge gamble. I definitely want an established coach. And the only two guys I can think of, either Belichick or maybe John Gruden. So, thanks for taking my call. I just want to hear your thoughts.
You got it, Danny. Appreciate the call. Those are two names we've thrown out there. Listen, it's just apparent. Any documentary, anything on Bill Belichick, his reverence for the Giants organization is as deep as anybody on the planet. I mean, he loves the New York Giants. He reveres them. So I just, if he's coming in with the decision-making power, if the Giants were even open to this, which I have no idea if they would be, I would be on some level for sure. I don't like him as a GM. I don't want to make real decisions in terms of the personnel. He has not distinguished himself enough in that regard to be that guy. As the coach, it's Bill Belichick. If he wants to come coach, I did not have a conversation with the guy.
Here's the advice that I would give to Giants fans who say no, they don't want a part of it. Look at the idiot loser Atlanta Falcons. That loser, pathetic franchise that has the worst loss in the history of the sport hung on their resume, okay? They chose Raheem Morris over Bill Belichick, who actually wanted the job. Belichick wanted the job. Good owner with Arthur Blank.
He did want the job.
For whatever reason, I don't know the inner workings there, but...
I think he wanted too much power.
Okay.
Honestly.
Fair enough. And the Falcons decided, you know what, we're going to go with Raheem Morris. And to me, that was actually the nail in my coffin as a fan. I didn't go nuts. I was like, I could see why they would go Morris here. Like, I get it. Younger guy, new age, football the way that we are. Morris was a guy who had experience before. He was thought to be a good head coach when he first got hired with the Bucs. Like, I could see the potential. They worked his way back up as a coordinator, was familiar with Atlanta, was the interim head coach there for a little bit. I could understand the hire. However, I wanted Belichick because it's Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, coming to your pathetic franchise and going to try to lift them out of the abyss. And I know for certain that they would be a better team had Bill Belichick been running things. Okay, but they didn't do that. So now if you're the Giants and you say, well, Belichick wasn't good in New England, which is true at the end, obviously, which is true. Belichick's been a total disaster at North Carolina, also true. Can't dispute that. However, the Giants are at a spot as a franchise to where, for me, if I say I'm trying to eliminate the question marks, there are no question marks for me in the NFL with Bill Belichick. And even if you want to bring some up, there's still fewer question marks with him than there are with literally anybody else. Gruden, Vrabel, bring up all those guys. I'm not saying that certain guys couldn't be better or different with new age stuff. I'm saying that right now, I don't know how you wouldn't say, I'm going to do whatever I can to go get Belichick. Let him bring in his people, whether it's Lombardi or whoever he trusts. Hey, maybe Dimitroff. We had Dimitroff in here. Maybe he wants to go back and be a GM. I'd consider that. I'll tell you this. Thomas Dimitroff is a better general manager. Joe Schoen is a fraction, to steal words from the great Mad Dog Russo, a pimple on the fanny. Joe Schoen is a pimple on the fanny of Thomas Dimitroff as a general manager. So the fact that you could just, they can do better. That to me we talked about him with the Jets. He got interviewed.
We had him in studio.
So, and that's just one guy, and I know there's familiarity because he comes from the New England way. Point is, there are plenty of guys out there that Belichick can bring in to run the front office and be a collaborative effort and then have him be the head coach. I think that's probably the best option for the Giants.
This version of Bill Belichick terrifies me. That's the problem, man. I mean, it is. I mean, it's pathetic. Now, I know that the college game's very different. You've got to have the roster. You've got to have the NIL. I get it. It's not quite the same. But, I mean, I hate to say it, but is he bringing her? I mean, because we can't have the circus here. We just can't have it.
Well, that's a different story. I don't want to get into his personal life. I know that's a huge thing here.
I'm not.
She certainly can't be front and center.
His personal life, he makes it public. So,
I understand. Well,
if she's parading around on the north, he's allowing it. Yeah. So, he's complicit here. I mean, she's parading around on the sidelines, the photographs, the pictures. She's every interview he does, she's right next to him. So it's not like I have a camera in his house and I'm going into his personal life. I'm reacting to what he's showing the world, which at this point is nothing that I think would benefit the New York Giants if that dynamic is there.
Take her out of it, that dynamic.
Okay, which is a tough dynamic to remove because I'm not sure that he would, but I will for the moment. Would I still be? I would be open to it, not as much as you, because the one thing that I can't prove, and this is a very general thing, and it sounds disrespectful, it's not, because I love Bill Belichick, I revere him, has the game passed him by? And I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did.
But I'd rather find out. Especially when you have the quarterback in place. This is not a total rebuild here.
I know.
And there are players in defense. Like, you're telling me you don't think Bill Belichick?
Oh, this defense would be so much better. I have no doubt about that.
Okay, and that means that their record would be better. And the one thing that he couldn't do in New England post Tom Brady, because he did it pre-Tom Brady, he did select Brady. Like, he should get credit for that. Draft, develop. That's what they did. Bledsoe obviously before that, but draft and develop Brady. It's not his fault that he selected the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, that's the penalty. Well, yeah, but he couldn't win without Brady. Well, he picked the guy. He picked him. I mean, it wasn't like Joe Montana fell into his lap. He went out there, picked him, drafted him, developed him, whatever. Made the decision to go to him, even against public thought with Bledsoe, whatever, a popular decision. Anyway, the one thing that he couldn't do in the end was find a quarterback to replace Brady, whether it was Garoppolo, they had to move on from him.
Brissett was there for a minute.
Cam Newton, Brissett, and he was winning with some backups over the years for Brady. Cam Newton, obviously Mac Jones. Mac Jones had success elsewhere, so that to me was the biggest issue, and that's not an issue with the Giants because they have Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
So you're eliminating, to me, the biggest question mark from Belichick. Give me... Now, we could do this over the course of the rest of the winter here, the rest of the season, but give me the definitive better options that the Giants will have to hire as a head coach.
I think I would probably want Gruden more myself.
Really?
I do.
Why?
Think I would.
He was god-awful the last time he came back.
I know. I feel like Belichick is... I don't know how to say this properly. I feel like he's just withering out.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning that he's just aging out. I feel like what he's projecting right now is there's no energy. There's nothing that, to me that is the spark out forever? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
You think he doesn't love it anymore?
I don't know if he quite needs it the way that he once did. I feel like football, and again, this is a very long distance assessment. Clearly, I'm not trying to be unfair to the guy, but I thought forever football was his oxygen. I'm not so sure anymore. And if that's the case...
when you get a 24-year-old like that, maybe that's a little different oxygen.
Whatever oxygen you got left, you're going to get sucked out. Understood. I'm not mad at you for that. But I don't know. A couple of years ago, this would have been much more appealing. Again, I've been bringing his name up forever, so I'm not trying to trounce on his legacy or even the viability of him coming to the Giants now. I'm just not all in on it. I'm not.
You said you wanted to add something here?
I do, because here's the thing about my headphones, sorry. Here's the thing about Belichick. I think he would be a valuable piece to either the Jets or the Giants. I think asking him to coach is the wrong way to go about it. You have a mind like that, someone who built an organization for how many successful years, how many Super Bowls, seasons where Tom Brady wasn't good, was because he wasn't healthy, and they had to go other options, and they were still successful. You're telling me he just being in the building isn't good enough? I'm not telling you have to offer him. He's going to get fired from that UNC job. They're going to have a buyout. He's not going to worry about the money. Especially the Jets. And I know that
they said no.
The Jets.
They didn't want him.
No.
Remember, the Jets turned him down.
Yeah.
Foolishly.
That's ego.
But that's why he's better for the Jets than the Giants.
No, I think it's for the Giants.
Regardless. Yeah. Either way, both teams could use him.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Hoff. So it's an interesting thought. Like the Jedi comes in and teaches the powers of the Force and elevates the whole building. I got you. But if he's not coaching, which is undeniably his best asset, are we overstating what he's bringing to the building? Because he's never been a good personnel guy. He's never identified drafts well. So if he's not coaching, what's he doing?
Correct. It's like Phil Jackson with the Knicks.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's
By the way, you see Carmelo just crushing him?
I did see
We're
that.
We're going to get to that later.
Yeah. Bill Parcells was a great head coach until he wasn't a great head coach. But then what did he do after that?
He went to Miami as a consultant, did nothing.
And he chose Jake Long over Matt Ryan.
Well, I mean, listen, you can't. They all can't be gold.
I mean, I'm just saying though, his greatest skill set is to be a head coach.
Correct.
So that's what I would bring him here to be. Now, I'd be open to Gruden as well. I personally, now I'd also need to, it's not going to happen, but in this hypothetical, I'd want to, see, it's hard for us to be put in the spot to where we got to give an opinion definitively on this. I would need to sit there and interview them. Like, if you sat in a room and interviewed Bill Belichick and then interviewed Gruden, now you could make a real decision on that. From afar, I'm going based off of the resume. I'm factoring in that both have failed more recently. Gruden, especially with the Raiders, where he was at, it did not end well for him. So
it's also like the Jets job in a lot of ways. I mean, think about, Carroll's a Hall of Famer. Look what he's doing there now. That Raiders job's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
I know, but it's also year one. I'm going to give him a little bit of time. He brought in Geno Smith, one of his guys.
But I'm saying when Gruden was there, I think we can very easily go, the Jets have been bad for 15 years. Dude, Raiders are equally impotent. So,
I know, but you want to have, I don't know.
Meaning, are we unfairly evaluating Gruden's run in with the Vegas Raiders? They have nothing.
No, because he still should be a program builder. I don't care the situation. Now, the program builder, whether it's Parcells, whether it's Sean Payton, whether it is, whoever it may be in this particular spot, you want to talk about Gruden, they should be able to identify a situation that they could go to that they are allowed to have success, meaning that there are certain owners and landscapes. Like, I don't think anybody worth the salt is going to take the Titans job because their ownership seems to be a disaster, the way that that's going.
And probably have the wrong quarterback,
and that's just
too.
one. And for the Jets for a long time, that's been the case there as well. Like, there's no chance you were going to get Mike Vrabel because he just wouldn't, just like you wouldn't get Belichick. He left because of Woody Johnson, and he was right about that. Bill Belichick's two greatest decisions in life might have been, in fact, identifying Woody Johnson as a bad owner and identifying Tom Brady as a great quarterback. Like, that's it. That made Bill Belichick what he is. But assuming that ownership, and I think that they would have that with the Giants, can put you in a position to succeed, then it would be appealing for Gruden to come in or Belichick to come in and be allowed to have the success. I don't know the situation with the Raiders at the time, but I know that I expected it to be better than it was with Gruden.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of hype when he was brought back, and they were still in Oakland at that point. I'm looking at it. So I don't know what the Raiders were. I'm just looking at John Gruden's coaching records. I don't know what the Raiders were the year before he was brought in. I know it wasn't
good first year?
No. The first year he was 4-12.
Right.
Then they went to 7-9. Then they went to 8-8. So you're inching up. I mean, I know you want to, and then 3-2 when he resigned in week 5.
Right, and then they won more with the dude that took over. I forget his name. Right? Wasn't that the interim head coach that everybody started falling in love with?
I don't have that in front of me, but I know. Listen, you're not going to have a parade float when you go from 4 to 7 to 8 wins and then 3-2.
Rich Versace,
that's right.
Yeah.
But there was evidence without a real quarterback, without a real roster. I mean, look at the Raiders now. All I'm saying is I think that Gruden, for me, John Gruden still has appeal, and so does Belichick. But the problem is, because Gruden's league situation, I think he'd probably be more flexible to coming in without full autonomy. Mm-hmm. I don't think Belichick is. And again, separating the coaching from the team building, which I've never really thought Belichick was particularly good at, building a roster, and that's documentable. If he wants the whole reign, I'm not giving it to him. I don't think he's earned that, Bill Belichick, at this point, for the Giants or for anybody.
Right, but then maybe you don't end up with them. I think that they're in a spot where I would take the chance myself. I think it's worth the risk going out there saying, you know what, you need Belichick to try to turn this thing around. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, a couple of years doesn't work out. You move on, hire somebody else. Now you're saying, well, you'd be wasting Jackson Dart. I think it will be worth the chance. And I also got to see what are the other options out there. Gruden, can you get Tomlin? Is John Harbaugh going to be available? Are you going to go with Brian Flores or another coordinator? Like, let me see Lane Kiffin. Like, give me all the options, a list of all the possible options, and then from there I would make my decision. But obviously they got to interview these guys and make their decision.
And the ultimate point is, and all due respect, the earlier you start, the better jump you get on the other teams are going to be looking to do the same thing. All right, 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll throw a little Knicks on the table. Sal, I know you were getting some of these tweets and look at Cat. It's the Wizards. And listen, not to just gloss over a win, but there's a couple of Knick things we want to get into, which we will. All right, who's hot in football? Brought to you by Petro Home Services. Caleb Williams is hot as he threw for 280 and 3 touchdowns, and he caught one in a victory over Cincy. Cincy's defense is awful. Want to save on heating costs? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. Go to petro.com now and save $125 free heating oil or call 888-PETRO02 today. Use propane, ask about our special offers, and propane not available in all areas.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
Drake May is playing out of his mind. This is a very good balanced team, and I love what Mike Vrabel has done with it.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out. At Nielsen,
Fridays in the driver's seat. Black Friday sales event.
With approval term 24 months due. It's signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L5819 at tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Turning cloudy, maybe a brief shower. High 60.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. Made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
the story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera. You lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Looking for the perfect place to catch the game on Long Island? Check out Tap Room, now with 9 locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. Great food, rotating craft beer, and TVs everywhere. Plus Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. It's the best place for sports, food, and friends. Visit taproomofny.com to find your spot.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the phone. We'll get back to the calls here on the Giants. We'll work in the Knicks a little bit later as well. I did see some Mets news coming in, BT. You might get a kick out of this. Some of it makes me happy. Some of it infuriates me. You want the stuff that makes me happy first or infuriates me?
Let's see. Give it happy stuff first.
Okay,
yeah.
Happy stuff first. The Mets, according to Anthony DiComo, have declined the club option on Drew Smith. You know, you've seen me rant on Drew Smith multiple times. Oh, the Mets released it? Okay, so that's not just DiComo. Anyway, Mets declined the option on Drew Smith coming off of Tommy John surgery. Thank God. I'm tired of watching Drew Smith give up gopher balls. I'm tired about hearing about the potential of Drew Smith. He was awful. I look forward to watching him somewhere else give up taters left and right. Let's see. That was one good news. I'll give you another good news. Brooks Raley will be back. The team has picked up the club option for him for $4.75 million, so he'll be back in the bullpen. Some news. Mets acquired Joey Gerber in a trade with the Rays. Gerber has had 19 big league appearances. He's pitched just twice in the big league since 2020. So get used to the household
Joey Gerber.
name. Joey Gerber. Go ahead, Hoff. You got something?
Yeah, I was going to use this for a bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth, but now you're bringing it up. Bald-faced truth, he will be waived and then reclaimed at least 3 times this season.
Yeah, I mean,
one of those guys.
They like guys with options, and then here's the news that
good optionality, Sal. Yeah.
Here's the news that infuriates me.
Yeah.
Just because it's a reminder of the ineptitude of David Stearns this past offseason. Frankie Montas has exercised his $17 million player option. He's expected to miss the entire season with, after Tommy John or elbow surgery or whatever. My thing is, that's not, don't you think that that's a problem with the sport? That a guy who's going to be out for the year can exercise his option to opt in. He can't even pitch. Come on, dude. That's not right.
I mean, what's the way around it? I mean, that's what's collectively bargained. I mean, I hear you.
If you're hurt for the year, you lose your. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're hurt for the year, you lose your right to opt in. That's come on, dude. That's cheap. He's going to opt in. He can't pitch for the team. Now, it was a stupid contract. We all said at the time, Stearns gets what he deserves in this regard. But that's come on, dude. Montas, A, you suck. You've always sucked. B, you sucked while you were here for the few games that you pitched with the Mets. C, you're not even useful. Sucking is one thing. Eating up some innings could be maybe useful or valuable, even though you're not worth anywhere near the $17 million. D, you can't pitch next year and you're going to opt in. That is just insult to injury.
That was a weird signing. That was one from the jump. We're what? Yeah. So it's 2 years? It's not only one?
Come on, man. That is brutal.
Frankie Montas. That was an odd one.
$17 million, dude, just lighting it on fire.
Yeah, I know we don't care about this as fans, but I'm pretty sure there's an element of insurance there.
Does that help, though, with the luxury tax?
That's a good question. That I don't know the answer to that. It doesn't. It does not.
Yeah, and I don't. Okay. Memory serves correct. I don't remember it doing that, because if it did, it'd be great. It'd be like, Stanton's hurt, and how much money are the Yankees going to save on this, or whoever gets hurt, or Cole for the whole year.
Yeah. So they'll get some of it back there, but I guess it won't. That second and third tax threshold will not be positively impacted there.
Dude, $17 million.
It's a lot of money. It's got to be big off season. Listen, the Yankees need to do some stuff. There's no doubt. The Mets need to have a big off-season. Big.
Yeah, I know. And then
they got to change stuff up.
Everybody's talking about it with the Diaz and Alonso. It's a bigger conversation than just throwing away. We'll get back to the calls here. But when you think about $17 million, you can say, Steve Cohen, richest owner in the sport. Yeah, but nobody likes wasting $17 million, and that's where Stearns needs to up his game. This isn't Milwaukee anymore. Come on, bro. You're not Milwaukee anymore. So why spend $17 million when you could spend $30 million on somebody that's actually very good, as opposed to half-assing it, taking a flyer on a guy who we all told you sucked for $17 million a year?
It made no sense. I mean, the thought process for Stearns, which obviously did not work out well, and again, this is a bigger topic. We got a lot of football, a lot of baseball, hot stove stuff, which we cannot wait to get into as we move toward Thanksgiving and beyond. But the Montas, who's the guy for $30 million, though? We could sit here and say, why give Montas 2 years at 17 each? Go get the guy for 30. The problem is the guy who's making 30 is going to have a 6, 7, 8 year contract attached to it, where Montas is, let's get him for 1 or 2 with the opt-in or the opt-out and the reclamation project, get him in the lab. It didn't work out, and they're burned. And if I'm going, I'm pissed at that one.
But they got what they deserved on that, right? Because they tried to go the cheaper route, saying, okay, Montas, and that's what these new analytical front offices do. They're saying, okay, why would I pay $30 million a year? Let's just say whatever it is, $35 million a year for Ranger Suarez over the course of 6-7 years, when the drop off in performance from Suarez to where they thought they could elevate Montas
correct,
was going to be close enough to I'd rather only commit 2 years, $34 million versus the $170 million it's going to cost.
The same with Max Fried, somebody like that,
exactly,
no doubt.
Right.
Can I just kill Stearns a little bit more for this? Because
go for it.
The moron that he is decided to go for Frankie Montas, who we all know was bad news.
2 years.
He is. He's a moron. He's a moron for this, because 2 years, $34 million for someone we all know sucked. Yet Jose Quintana, 1 year,
$5 million,
$4.25 million, and then an option for $15 million this year. Still less than or a little bit more than what Frankie Montas is going to make this year.
Hoff, why don't you call the Mets and see if we can get David Stearns on?
No.
Let them know that you're the one.
I don't want to talk to him right now. He's in my timeout box.
Aggressive, Hoff.
BT Sal, the fan. Let's get back to the calls here. 888-808-1009. We're talking Giants yet again. Pete is calling from Seaford. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Petey.
Hey, guys. How are you?
What's up, man?
I agree with most of what you said about the Giants. The relationship between the head coach and the GM is too symbiotic to keep one and fire the other. They both need to go. NFL head coaches just don't get the latitude that Brian Daboll has gotten. It just doesn't happen. The record, he's not an executive. Head coaches have to be executives. He clearly doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the defense, evidenced by all the prevent defense-related losses the Giants have had over the last number of years. He hasn't had his finger on the pulse of the backfield, right? The Giant corners have not improved. Maybe they've even regressed. He clearly doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the special teams. How many losses have the Giants had in the last 2 years because they don't have a kicker on the roster?
Yeah, but Pete, think about the one thing that he does have his pulse on, and this is what people are going to gravitate to and hang their hat on if they're pro Daboll. Well, he's got his pulse on the quarterback. He looks pretty good. This is where we're at.
You know what? Listen, I have no doubt in my mind that Brian Daboll will land an offensive coordinator job in the NFL, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's only 30 NFL head coaches. Well, there's only 30 offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, too. A previous caller mentioned Spags. I don't know why Spags would ever leave Kansas City. Do you think Steve Spagnuolo goes to bed looking at a ring on every finger and says, oh, man, I wish I have another chance to be a head coach? I seriously doubt that.
No. Well, Pete, I think you're underselling the desire for being in charge. Now, maybe he's past that point in his life and, he doesn't want that massive burden of running the whole building. I don't know. But there's a lot of people who are coordinators, who were coaches, who are dying to get back to that top spot because they want to be the guy in charge. Simple.
I think Lane Kiffin would be the guy I would look at for the Giants. And if he shakes loose from Houston, which maybe he will, I would look at DeMeco Ryans as DC. I think he's coaching the best defense in the NFL, even though, again, their wins and losses, and he seemingly got concussed at the same time as his quarterback last week, the way they managed the last 2 minutes of that game against Denver. If DeMeco Ryans shakes loose, I'm bringing in Lane Kiffin as my head coach and DeMeco Ryans as my DC.
Yeah, that's a big, and thank you for the call. That's a big if. That's part of the difficulty with this conversation, but hey, that's what we do. We're sports fans. You want to talk some sports and speculate and go over the ideas of maybe who you'd want. We have no idea who's going to be available. What if Mike Tomlin was available via trade? Would you want him? What if John Harbaugh was available? And maybe some people wouldn't want them. I personally would want those. I am, and I'm always a believer in this anyway, but I am, especially now with where the Giants are at. I would say the same thing for the Jets, too. I did say it last year. I want a guy who's done it before and who's done it well, if you could get that. At the very least, a guy who's done it before. And if you've done it before and have potential, that's good. If you've done it before and done it well, that's even better. And that's what I would look to bring in, especially when you talk about an organization that's been losing for the better part of a decade.
Well, don't we usually talk about where you have one thing and then when you make a move, you kind of go and get the other thing? Like if you have a disciplinarian like Tom Thibodeau, you go out there, you get somebody like Mike Brown, a little more free-flowing, or vice versa. You got a loose coach, and then you bring somebody in who's going to kind of tighten things up a little bit. Well, if you're going to do the opposite of what the Giants have been doing for a long time, it's got to be somebody who's established. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, because everything that they've done recently has been, let's try. I know Shermer had a little experience, but let's try this.
Well, but that's the thing.
This new piece. The guessing game must be mitigated.
Experience is great, but if it's just, he had a head coaching opportunity before, like Pat Shermer's experience.
Yeah.
Wasn't really great, and there was nothing about that. And I understand they wanted to say he's an offensive mind, and maybe they could have stuck with him, but he was an issue because he didn't handle New York well. There are many layers to having what it takes to be a successful head coach here. It's not just being a good play caller or being in total command of a team or being in control. I think there are things that Daboll does well here. Also, you got to handle New York, and you got to be able to handle adversity and deal with the media. There's a lot of. I'm not sure Spagnuolo fits that bill, where I can look at Belichick and Gruden and say, I feel much more comfortable. Those guys will be able to handle many of the aspects that it would take to succeed here in New York.
Yeah, again, I'm looking to train. I'm going to actually do this. I've said this now for a few days. I want to really look at, and Tomlin jumps out, of course, but I'm going to look at all these coaches. If I'm going to keep saying maybe they need to get bold and try to trade for somebody, I'm going to have to give you a name here. But I do like Gruden. I'm open to Belichick here. It's definitely time to to mix this up. And that's where we're at. I mean, the story today about maybe one stays and one goes, to me, is absolutely perplexing. I just don't see it. But, a little win streak away that could change. And that, to me, is not ideal because it kind of masks over a lot of deficiencies where a couple of wins should not change that. But that's me. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal on the Fan. Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata show here. All right, let me tell you guys about Cash App. It's built for the city. You've got built-in security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings, 24/7 chat support. Basically, it's like having a bodyguard for your money. We work too hard to let anything slip through those cracks here. Download Cash App today. Use code WFAN10. Send $5 to a buddy within 14 days. And Cash App is going to drop $10 right back into your account. So you hook up a friend for $5, you get $10 back your way. Nice. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App's a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services are provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a blocking brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Let's hit you with that Odyssey Sports Minute now, brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety's a shared responsibility.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Here's to Arch Manning, back from concussion protocol and flawless on Saturday. 25 of 33, 328 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a 75-yard strike to Ryan Wingo on his first throw. With that win over Vanderbilt, Texas now stands at 7-2, 4-1 in SEC play with 3 games left. If the Horned squad finishes 9-3, they're absolutely in the running for a college football playoff at-large bid. I'm Maggie Gray.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
New York City is delivering for you. With public housing and subway incidents, hate crimes, retail theft, and overall major crime down this year, and shootings year to date at their lowest levels in recorded history, and over 135,000 unlawful guns and vehicles off our streets means more secure neighborhoods, day and night. That's NYC delivering for families, every day, everywhere. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown! That's a Jet touchdown!
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
FanDuel is putting you in control right from NBA tip-off because every day to start the season, you get to choose your reward. You take your shot with a profit boost, play it cool with a no-sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet-back token. Maybe you're a bold bettor always chasing that big parlay, or maybe you're the careful strategist who plays it smart. Maybe you're someone who likes to emotionally hedge against your teams and the teams you hate. The best part is that you get to pick the reward that best suits you. So make your pick, get in the game, and play it your way. Head to FanDuel.com/Boomer to make your choice. As we always tell you, we love the app around here. It's safe and it's secure, and when you win, you get paid fast. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Rutgers football is back in Piscataway throughout the rest of the fall. Don't miss a moment. This is Coach Shiano. Keep chopping. And join the fun on the Rutgers Boardwalk. Free rides, games, entertainment, parades, and more, all before every home game. It's all free family fun at the Rutgers Boardwalk. Visit us online at scarletknights.com. Don't miss a moment. See Coach Shiano and the Rutgers football team all fall long at SHI Stadium.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. If you love cooking, listen up. The Chef IQ Mini Oven is your all-in-one kitchen hero. It bakes, broils, air fries, dehydrates, slow cooks, and more. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, a color touchscreen, a soft closed door, and looks sharp on any counter. It even syncs with the Chef IQ app and can pair with the IQ Sense thermometer for perfect USDA safe temps every time. Grab yours right now at chefiq.com, and don't forget to use code BOOMER to save 20% off at checkout.
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brent and Tierney and Sal Licata.
Oh, yeah. A little bold face truth, bold face lie. Before we get to hop here, I did see a trade, BT. A wide receiver is on the move.
Olave.
No, it is Jacoby Myers.
Oh, Raiders, okay.
Yeah, the Raiders send Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for a 4th round and a 6th round pick. Just to give you an idea, Myers clearly not Olave or Waddle, but
that's one of the names.
A 4th and a 6th. I mean, I would assume that the other two would be a lot more than that. Myers is good, but I mean,
the other guys will get more, and I'd have to look at. I don't know what Myers' contract is. If there's not a whole lot left on it, which I don't think that there is. Obviously, you're not going to give up much for rental, whereas Waddle's got more, etc., which would impact the terms. Yeah, listen, I hope we get some action today.
Yeah,
and we can do this a little later, but I like to see the Jets do a couple of things, and obviously the Giants. There's some things that they'll be called upon as well.
Let's go right there.
Let's go. He said, shut up. Let's go. It's my turn. Shut up, BT.
Well, this is my bald face. I was actually going to lead in with that, but thanks for taking it. Bald face lie, bald face truth. We'll start with BT.
Okay.
Jets and Giants will make a total of 0 trades by today's deadline.
Oh, I think that's got to be a bald face lie. I'd be grossly disappointed. Now, of what magnitude? Dexter Lawrence isn't going to get dealt. I think I'd even be surprised.
Are they making moves? Yes or no?
Yeah, I just said yeah.
Okay.
I said bald face.
Well, then you started saying what type of moves. I don't care about what moves.
Well, I gave you the answer, but I'm also. I don't think they're going to be earth-shattering moves. Let me put it this way. Yes, I do believe there will be moves made. I think Breece Hall is the most interesting one. I think of the bigger variety that would move the needle, I think the Jets are more inclined to do that than the Giants. But yes, to answer Hoff, as I already did, and do it again, there will be some trades.
I'm going to say ball-face lie. I don't think either team does anything. Yeah, zip, nothing.
Oh, the ball-face truth, then.
I'm sorry, ball-face truth. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You agree with the statement?
You were going on too long, Hoff. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Oh, I apologize.
So, bald-faced truth, I don't think the Jets and Giants are going to make any moves here. What are the Jets going to accomplish here at this trade deadline? Like, they're not going to move Breece Hall. It seems like they don't want to move Breece Hall. They're not going to get enough back to warrant that to me. So, I don't think the Jets are going to make any moves here. And I don't really think they should be. I think the Jets should stand pat here and just go about their business, trying to build this thing the right way, look ahead to the draft, try to get some, competent football, maybe get some more wins. And with the Giants, I think what the Giants want to move is worthless. Oh, they're looking to trade Evan Neal. Evan Neal's, I mean, I'm going to be nice. I don't want to pick on the kid, but he's worthless. Jalen Hyatt, same thing. I mean, that's my way. That's my way. I mean,
let's go to Mel Kiper, Evan Neal's film. What's your assessment here, Mel?
I mean, come on, disaster, and even more so than the actual moves. Like somebody over there has to acknowledge that you can't let a lame duck general manager making any moves here at the trade. That would be. I would assume somebody over there has that similar thought. Now, again, I'm assuming. So who knows? But I wish that somebody would be as smart as that to think, you know what, maybe now's not the time to be making any moves. Let's just ride this thing out and see what happens in the offseason.
All right, so that's the Giants side. We kind of hit that a little bit here. So listen, the thing that you got to look at for me too, and I do think there'll be a trade we'll see eventually in a couple hours here, but like the Jets, I think it's smart to just get as much draft capital as they can because, you know, there's no guarantee that they've got the worst record in the NFL. I mean, we're sitting here saying, well, the Jets going to get first pick and pick whatever quarterback they want, Mendoza, Moore, whatever. Well, they could beat the Browns this week, and they could have suddenly 2 wins and then maybe beat the Dolphins and finish with 3 and have the 3rd overall pick, and they really want somebody at 1 or a 2, but they can't get there unless they make a big trade. So it's not that you just disband the roster. They've got a few good young pieces like Mason Taylor and obviously Garrett Wilson and Gardner, you know, whatever. The good old lineman, which we like here. But I think that it's smart to just really line the pockets with potential that would help you to make a trade to get the quarterback that eventually you do want.
All right, Hoff, what do you got? Number 2.
All right, who am I up to? Sal.
Yeah.
Bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie. Pete Alonso will get at least one MVP vote for this 2025 season.
Bald-faced lie. Come on, dude. Pete had a good year. He can't be... Now, I don't know how the voting works exactly. I know I saw the finalists, Ohtani, Schwarber, and Soto in there for the finalists for MVP. I don't think Alonso's getting a vote. I don't think he deserves a vote for MVP. Although I will say that you can make an argument he was the most valuable player on the Mets over Soto, even though Soto's numbers are gaudy to the point where he is a finalist. I think when you win 83 games, there's nothing valuable about anybody. I could get rid of all those guys and still find a way to win 83 games next year. So I'm going to say bald-faced lie. Pete does not get a vote.
I'm going to play the technical route here because I had the same question that you did. If I was going first here, I probably would say the same thing, but I went second. So, you know, I mean, these guys, I'm looking at the votes from last year, Sal. You had, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I mean, you had in each league, you had basically 20 guys getting votes. I mean, Tovar and the Rockies got a vote last year. So I'll take, I know. Mike got like a 10th place vote,
so
whatever
he'll probably
it was.
Get a vote. Right?
So I'll again, that's the easy way. You know, I think maybe a little bit more of an interesting conversation. Should he get more than Soto? He won't. You could probably have that on some level, but no, he'll get a vote. That's the easy way out. Bull-faced truth, but he should be nowhere near the award, as we know.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, this is, I think, the question of the day.
Okay.
Bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth, BT. Aaron Boone has the safest seat of all head coaches, managers in New York sports.
Okay, let's go through this here. All the managers, I think he's safer than Mendy at this point.
I think this is a fun question. You're right, Hoff. Great question.
Mendy gets off to a rough start. He could be gone. We talked about the Giants every single day. That's a problem. Aaron Glenn, I think he's fine, but you keep doing battle and if you don't win anymore. The Rangers situation, okay. I would say that that's a bold-faced truth. I mean, even Mike Brown with the expectations, you better at least get to the finals. Yeah, I think that's fair. Bold-faced truth.
I'm going to say it's a bold-faced lie. I think Sullivan. I think you touched on it with the Rangers. Now, who knows with the Devils, Islanders? You want to throw those guys in there as well? I'm not so sure, but Sullivan.
Jordy Martinez with the Nets.
The Nets. What are they, 0-7 now?
I saw Evan. I think it was Evan tweeted something about Jordy. I was like, who the hell is Jordy?
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy.
The great
come on.
Jordy.
The Nets.
God.
Sullivan just got here. I did see Evan tweet something interesting about the Nets, saying that he wants Ja Morant, basically. Ja's an unhappy.
Got suspended? I saw that. He got suspended by the game.
He's got major issues. He's the guy I wanted over Zion years ago. I wanted the Knicks to get him. They end up with R.J. Barrett. Don't get Ja or Zion. End up with R.J. Barrett. And by the way, that might have been the most solid choice when you think about it. Ja with all his issues. Zion
legal
with his issues.
Yeah, Zion's in good shape this year.
Yeah.
I saw RJ. I still check the box score, see what Barrett and Quickly are doing. Barrett's averaging like 20-something points a game. He's playing pretty well.
I think Sullivan's got to be the safest. He just got here. Drury loves him. He's got great history and pedigree. But because of the newness, I would say him. Dable, no. Glenn, no. Brown, no. Mendy, certainly not. Mendy might be on the hottest seat of all. Well, outside of Dable. Dable, obviously, he's not going to be the coach any longer. You wouldn't think. I think Boone's relatively safe.
So do I.
But I don't know if I would say he's safer than Sullivan or maybe any of the hockey coaches.
You're a big hockey guy. Any opinion on that, Huff?
If Sullivan continued to lose the way they were doing, I think he would be out by the...
Get the hell out of here. They're not going to fire Sullivan.
Bro, hockey coaches, we know every 2 years.
Him in.
Yeah, but he's already been here for a quarter of his career, technically.
I have one bonus question today. Bold-face truth.
No.
Bold-face
it's my
truth.
time.
Bold-face lie. Can anybody on this show name the current New Jersey Devils head coach?
Oh, yeah. O'Keefe? Sheldon Keefe. That's what
I can name the play-by-play guy. Can't name the head coach. Patrick Waugh for the Islanders. I know that.
Yeah, Patty Waugh, sure.
I would not be able to name the...
I nailed it.
Who is it?
Sheldon Keefe.
Okay.
Woo.
Good job. Sheldon
No idea.
Keefe. I would have bet the under, probably.
He got hired.
Stumbled his way there, but he got it.
He got hired May 23rd of 2024. So
he's doing a good job, too.
I'm going to go check out the
Playing
Devils at the
well.
end of the month, I think.
They're good.
But anyway, yeah, there you have it. All right, bold-face truth, bold-face lie.
All right, now to the Islanders.
No, we did. Waugh, Patrick Waugh.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Come on, dude.
You know that.
What are you, headphones?
I know that.
We said that 3 times.
I still have a cold.
BT, you're right. We should just be thankful that you showed up to work today. BT and
No
Sal.
BP today, no cage work with Mendy? No soft toss?
888-808-1019. We'll take a break. We got to get to the Knicks next hour. We also have Brian Baldinger coming up. Let's do the Knicks at 12:20. We'll reset with the Giants. Do Giants at 12. We'll do the Knicks at 12:20. Brian Baldinger, he'll give his insight coming up at 12:40. Jam-packed show. Maybe do a little free agency, 1 o'clock, or a combination of a bunch of different things. But still plenty of time to work with here. We'll take a quick break. Back to reset on the other side.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I've sat here for a long time, and we know when the winds of change are in the air. We know it. We know it, and it's an unfortunate thing to talk about, but you have to talk about it. I mean, Giant fans are just absolutely at a breaking point now, I believe, when it comes to the coaching staff and it comes to the GM staff.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. At Volvo Cars Ramsey, 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Choose from excellent offers on a new Volvo XC40, XC60, or a new 2025 Volvo XC90. View our entire inventory at VolvoCarsRamsey.com. Find excellence in a new Volvo at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you.
Calling all Hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Visit your local Kia dealers to discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. It's the perfect balance of quality, dependability, power, and style. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires.
By now, everyone knows that I love my Elevate Hydrogen-Infused Super Water. Well, I've told you all about how amazing I'm feeling. The science speaks for itself. But did you know that even longevity experts, pro athletes, and many doctors choose Elevate for its benefits? And they want you to have a chance to make Elevate your water of choice. So here's what they are offering today. Simply go to Instagram or Facebook, send them a direct message with the word Boomer, and they will send you a link to receive up to 12 of their premium super waters 100% free. I can't wait for you to try it.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. The Giants and Jets remaining quiet, now 4 hours away from the NFL's trade deadline. The Cowboys have acquired Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson for a 7th-round pick and Raiders receiver Jacoby Myers on his way to Jacksonville. The Mets taking care of some roster decisions today. They have officially exercised their option on Brooks Raley, but declined Drew Smith, so he's a free agent, while Raley now makes $4.7 million for next season. A.J. Minter and Frankie Montas have exercised their player options for next year. Montas will make $17 million while recovering from Tommy John surgery. And the Chicago White Sox expected to exercise their $20 million option on center fielder Luis Robert. The Mets were connected to him at the trade deadline, and maybe his name would have come up again this winter. Fan weather sponsored by Moderna. It's 55 degrees and sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey iHeart.
Tierney and Sal Licata back on the Fan. We are down with the king topic of the day, and it is unfortunately again I was going to say disarray. I don't even know if that's the right word to use here, but the dysfunction with the New York Football Giants and just reacting. We're extending obviously the conversation from yesterday off another horrific loss for the Giants and bad performance. The idea that it's time to move on definitively from Shannon Dable, but just because we might think that it's definitive doesn't mean that the Giants think it's definitive. And the latest report of the New York Post today, you wake up, it's a split ticket, meaning that it's not so fast that both guys would go at once. BT, for me, that would be literally the worst thing the Giants can do in this spot is keep Joe Schoen and fire Brian Dable.
Yeah, I mean, the word that I would use is uncertainty where we are now with the Giants. Not for us. I mean, we've made our opinions very clear here, and I don't think either man at this point in terms of their job has distinguished themselves enough to have an advantage over the other. Like, I don't think Dable should stay and Shane should go. I don't think Shane should go and Dable should stay. I think that they should both go. And there's just a ton of evidence here. I mean, first of all, it's always got to be about winning, right? And then when it's not about winning, it's like, okay, well, what about the other optics that matter to ownership? And, whether it's 40 or 50,000 fans flooding the stadium and taking it over of the other team. And soon, when it's a non-high-profile team like the Niners, there will be more empty seats rather than opposing fans coming in. I don't know how you look at that and say this is the direction that I want to go. You can't beat Philly. You can't beat Dallas. I know they beat Philly this year. I get it. But overall, 2-14 since they got here. They can't win in the division. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, and I don't know how you can make a case for Joe Schoen. I can make a case for Brian Daboll. I'm not going to because I think that both guys need to. It's time to just move on and do better here. Raise the expectation. You can do better than what Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen have done here for 4 years, and you gave them every opportunity. The owners gave them every opportunity to prove otherwise, and they just failed. But I can make a case for Brian Daboll year one, succeeding with a basically talentless roster, one that he inherited from Dave Gettleman, and getting to the postseason and winning a playoff game. And then again, year four now, identifying the quarterback that he wanted, going to him when he did, and having success with that quarterback at the very least from an offensive standpoint, if not as a win-loss record overall. Those are two major check marks in favor of Brian Daboll. Where's the check mark in favor of Joe Schoen? Now, again, it wouldn't be enough for me to keep Brian Daboll because I believe they could do better. I just think he's been a losing head coach. The three years in a row, they start the year 2-7 through the first 9 games. I mean, what more does anybody need to see or say about it? But where's the evidence for Joe Schoen? He's been god-awful, so much so that I wouldn't let him make a move here ahead of the deadline today, BT. I'd have a freeze on, and then I would look to move on from those guys sooner than later here and stop delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do the freeze just because if somebody calls up and they're out of their minds and they're trying to make one Super Bowl run, I wouldn't want to preclude doing a decent deal for the sake of moving, not allowing Shane to do it. I know what you mean fundamentally. I wouldn't do that. But to me, the other thing is like, I just don't get this. I just get real separation from the thought that Jackson Dart is going to drown without Brian Daboll. I think that's so short-sighted. I think it's a discredit to the young man's moxie and his talent and his ability to rise and his ability to lead and eventually elevate this team to a place where we all want to see him get. So, outside of this ridiculous winning streak, which is never going to happen, that changes the perspective of how we just have to think out of respect of 7 straight wins or 5 of 6 against something that's not going to happen. There's really nothing that I can see that would change my mind.
Let me
I just wouldn't see it.
If they won 7 of 8 to close it out,
yeah,
you're changing your mind?
If they win 7 of 8, me or them? Okay,
no,
me.
You.
I wouldn't. I'm not. I don't believe that they've got the right men in place here.
That's my point. So
I know.
it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. You've said that as well.
Well,
I just don't think there's any chance they're going to win 7 of 8. So to me, to even think about that, it's preposterous. But no, it wouldn't change it for me.
Me neither. But if they won 8 in a row, it does not change what I fundamentally believe at my core based on 3+ years of evidence.
Yeah.
So that I'm not coming on making that decision unless I believe if they went 7 of 8. Well, if they won 8 in a row, no, that's factored in. Like, I'm factoring in that there are 8 more games to go. When I say that I want them both to be out because I've made my decision, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. If they won 8 in a row, I still believe they could do better than Shane and Daboll. So that's why I would make my decision now and just move on.
Now, the thing, where are they? And nobody knows, but, I mean... They're still in evaluation mode, which is why I think it's really, in a lot of ways, the worst interest to just start winning some meaningless games at the end of the year. I mean, if you start clipping good teams, again, it wouldn't change my thought process either. It might change theirs. But if they win a couple of games at the end of the year against the Raiders and the Vikings, and they allow that to change their thought on the vision of the franchise, it's catastrophic.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that I would hope somebody already made a decision here. They can't be saying, well, we need 8 more games of evaluation mode. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Clint is in Somerset. What's up, Clint?
Hey, guys. First time, long time. Just wanted to get into a little Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen talk and leave you guys with a question. But starting with Shane, I mean, anybody defending this guy still at this point just doesn't know what they're talking about. It's inexcusable what he's done over 3 full off seasons, or 4 rather now. And you can go back to last spring when we thought these guys were going to lose their jobs. look at both sides of the ball. The best player on both sides of the ball, for all the flack that Dave Gettleman got when he was here, were Dave Gettleman picks. Andrew Thomas on the offensive line, Dexter Lawrence on the defensive line. I mean, the way he's handled this kicker debacle to start the season, inexcusable. I mean, he has to go. And the whole argument with Brian Dable and Jackson Dart, I think that stems from a little bit of Daniel Jones PTSD. We saw Daniel Jones 4 different OCs, 3 different head coaches in 6 years. So I think a lot of people are worried that that might hinder his growth. But we've seen with everything going on with the injuries on the team, Dart's been able to step up and has made some really great decisions and proved, at least to a lot of the fans I've talked to, that he's the right guy. And I think we can bring some other people in and still get that out of Jackson Dart.
I agree.
Talk to you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, Clint, I was going to say, I would agree with that. And also, think about this. I remember saying maybe a month or so, whatever it was, a lot of the things that they're running, it's a variation of what they did at Ole Miss here, which is part of the reason why Lane Kiffin's name has been thrown out there. But if he was doing, this is kind of how he played in the SEC. He's running around, he's doing stuff off platform. So if the thought was, and I'm talking about ownership now, predetermined, or at least possibly thinking about not subjecting him to what they subjected Daniel Jones to, I would think that that's the wrong way to look at it, because I don't think that this is some radical new way of playing for Jackson Dart as it is. So if it's a new coach, it's not going to be that different anyway. You're going to play to his strengths.
Yeah, perfect. That's a great point. And also, I have a question for you guys. What do you guys think? I know this name isn't super popular in Giants land, but what would you guys think about Mike McCarthy coming in and taking over as head coach? I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. It might not be like the great big name that everyone wants, but he can win 10 games in the regular season, experience as a head coach. I mean, I'd rather someone like that could just kind of bring us up into that out of mediocrity and just be an above-average team for a while.
Right,
as opposed to taking a swing on one of those other guys.
I like the way that you said that, Clint, and thank you for the call. And that name came up yesterday. People were texting us about it, and then obviously we took some calls on that. I respect what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. It elevates you. It raises the floor. To me, the ceiling would not be high enough with Mike McCarthy. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect him. I just think at this point, I watched him, with the Cowboys. Maybe the prior hiring cycle before he took the job with the Cowboys, he was more appealing to me in the right situation. I think you could do worse than Mike McCarthy. I also think you could do better than Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're going to have to wrestle. Do they want to bring in somebody that's good, like McCarthy, like a stabilizing force, or do you want to take a swing, whether it's a trade or somebody that they perceive to have, home run ceiling talent, but maybe isn't really proven? So I see the value in both, because you do have to stabilize the franchise before you eventually take that next step and hopefully become champions again for the Giants. But and without that stabilization, you can't become a champion. But it's also, you can't swing for a double. You've got to. I know, but if you swing for the home run and you pop up, it could actually get worse.
Here's the bottom line.
Will remain this bad.
Bottom line, if they hired McCarthy, I wouldn't go nuts about it, because I think he's clearly better than Brian Dable. And I would expect the Giants to win more football games than they would lose moving forward. Now, if I'm thinking Super Bowl, I'm just not. And if I'm thinking Super Bowl long term, next 5 to 10 years, you hope to have that guy.
Well, who the hell is that guy? I don't know if there's anybody that fits that.
But that's the point. They've been chasing that for a long time, so maybe that's not the right thought process. Like the idea of I love Brian Flores, and I really believe a second go around, especially with all that's gone on, he will be a great head coach somewhere. That's just what I believe. Is that somewhere here though? And is this the right time to take a chance on that? The risk is the risk outweighing the reward? The reward could be, you have your guy for the next 15 years. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a great head coach here, stabilized like John Harbaugh did with the Ravens, like Tomlin's done with the Steelers. Could be that, or it could be a bust, and then we're doing the same thing again.
I know.
Whereas with McCarthy, there's less risk, but maybe the upside is not as great as it would be with a younger, lesser known head coach.
Well, let me ask you this. If you have somebody like McCarthy, now Andy Reid wasn't Andy Reid before he got Mahomes.
Yeah,
he was terrific, but he wasn't quite this. So if people think, and I'm more in the camp of thinking this than not, even though I need to see a whole lot more football, like if you think that Jackson Dart can elevate a good coach to a great coach, well, then maybe McCarthy could work.
He'd probably be in my short list. I just saw too many things from him with the Cowboys where the X's and O's were not where I would want them to be. And if I'm going to hire McCarthy, why wouldn't I just go hire Belichick? I think Bill Belichick's a better head coach. So we could disagree on where Belichick's at. You think the game's passed him by. You're annoyed with his girlfriend. I'm going to ignore that and just say, who do I think are the better head coaches? If I'm ranking Belichick, Gruden, McCarthy would be third on that list for me. Doesn't mean I wouldn't want him. It just means he'd be third on that list for me. You got to come up with some kind of list and then narrow it down based on the interview, based on certain things, how the rapport with Jackson Dart, the future, the direction. Those things are hard to know without knowing all these guys. I could see how you can make a case for Gruden being number one over Belichick. I would, of those three, and those are probably the biggest three right now. If John Harbaugh shakes free, maybe that's somebody I'd rank even higher than them because he's been with one team for so long. Like, I look at him to be the next Andy Reid potentially. Not pound for pound just what they do, but meaning success with one organization for so long, and I could see him building up another one the way that Reid did. Either way, there are going to be some good options, and definitively to me, better options than what they have right now with Brian Daboll.
There's going to be some good options, but nothing perfect. And listen, very rarely does something perfect present itself, but maybe, I don't know, and maybe the evaluation comes down to this. Like, if they don't think that there's a great option out there, maybe they do roll it back and then go on. I'm just saying. Rather than just going into a hiring cycle where you're like,
there's got to be somebody better than Brian Daboll.
I would think that there would be. We've identified a couple of names that are appealing to us. I just don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah. John is in Philadelphia. What's up, John?
Johnny.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. I do agree. I think Mike McCarthy, as of right now, is probably the best candidate. But I got to ask, do you really think John Mara would take a shot on a guy with any baggage? In my opinion, I don't see him doing that, which I think eliminates John Gruden, even though he'd be fun. I think that eliminates Brian Flores, who had the issue with the last coaching cycle. Mm-hmm. And I also think at this point, it eliminates Bill Belichick. So, again, based on kind of where we're at right now, I don't see another candidate, and I don't think the Giants should go out and try to find that next hot coordinator that's going to bring them to the promised land. I don't see it happening.
That, to me, would be stupid, trying to find the hot coordinator. How many times are we going to do that?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. So I think the Giants are, unfortunately, they're in a spot right now where they don't really have many options. And if they're going to keep Shane, I don't know how. Could you hire a coach first and then try to figure it out? And maybe McCarthy is a guy that, if he was hired, maybe he brings in his own guy. Maybe they go to McCarthy and they say, hey, who do you want to work with as a GM? It's the Giants right now. They're the new Cleveland Browns. There's no respect. I want a coach. I don't care if it's a thrill or if they're fun to listen to. I just want some wins. I want something to have. I want a little bit more respect for the Giants, which they haven't had in the last,
It's been too long. The disintegration of the brand is just, it's ridiculous here. Now, you don't need Rex Ryan coming in winning the press conference, but what I think the Giants absolutely need, whomever and whenever they decided to get a new head coach, when they introduce him, there's just got to be a belief like, all right, if finally we have a sense, where that ceiling is, we can debate that, we can determine that. It's here for McCarthy, it's here for Gruden, it's here for if they trade for Tomlin, whatever, Lane Kiffin. But it can't be a complete guessing game. Like, we hope that this guy works out. There's no track record that tells us that it will, but our inner convictions tell us that this is the right guy. Like, there's got to be a modicum of belief that this he's in charge because he's already shown that he's done it to an extent.
Which is why Mike McCarthy would not be the worst idea or hire for the Giants. Quarterback's in place. McCarthy could have success. Yeah. The floor gets elevated immediately. Whereas, let's say Spagnuolo, I'm not sold that he would come here to be any different. I can't definitively say as a head coach, Spags would be better than Brian Daboll. Me personally, I can't say that.
I can't say that either. How many people would excite? Now, forget about the viability and how many people would actually excite. I'm going to give you a couple names. If Giant fans would be excited. Now, they'd be excited for Belichick, obviously, right? They'd be excited for Belichick.
I would think.
Are you excited for Gruden?
Yeah, 100%.
Excited for McCarthy?
I would believe so, yes.
Excited for a trade for Tomlin?
Yeah.
Excited for Harbaugh with the trade, John?
I would, yeah.
Excited for Lane Kiffin?
And Shane has not made it better. I don't know moving forward if Daboll, I've defended Daboll for a long time. The last couple of games, I've definitely had some down on him. But the problem is, John Gruden, yes, I like John Gruden. The guy hasn't won a Super Bowl in 20-plus years. The guy had a losing record in the Raiders. It's you're bringing up retreads.
Well, who do you want?
I don't know.
That's fine. We're just bringing up names. Give me a name that would be appealing to you. Doesn't have to be Gruden.
I guess Belichick would be the best of it, but it's the same thing without Brady. he doesn't do it.
Okay, but Nick, then what do you want? I'm not asking you to go over the guys and give me their negative sides. Who would you want? You don't want Dable. I'm not saying you have to even come up with an answer. You want to try a first-time coordinator again?
No. I think my personal opinion is you stick with Dable for another year.
Oh.
You give him the opportunity to try to see what he can do with Dart going through. Again, we don't have any defensive backs. Our offensive line is okay. You don't have any weapons. It's the same thing. They bring 7, 8 guys in the box, and you can't get open.
All right, so Nick, hold on a second. So you're telling us what they don't have. So you want to bring back Dable, and you're making it. You're making a runway for him to come back because you're saying there's no talent. Well, then you have to be telling us that you don't want Joe Shane back, right? They both can't come back.
I do not want Joe Shane back.
So you think he's more of an issue than Dable?
100%.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, but okay.
I do agree with that, but I don't know how you could still want Dable back when there are better options out there. Brian Dable's the head coach. Nick, he's gone 2-7 each of the last 3 years to start the season.
I understand that, but he's not on the field playing all the time.
But any coach could say that. Come on, Nick.
No, but you have to have accountability for the people that put the guys on the field. And don't get me wrong, I know Dable's in the meetings and they're talking about it, but think about the defensive coordinator for a second, the defense.
Yeah.
You put together an attack. That would have been, but it goes back to Wink.
Okay, and who had the issue with Wink?
Dable did.
Okay,
so you got two bulls fighting each other. But think about you have
and one bull without Wink has been a loser. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I was going to say bull-less, but I mean, thanks for the call.
I don't know where you go there.
I was in Dable's corner. You and I had that debate years ago.
I know.
You were saying, man, I don't know about Wink. And I'm like, you can't disrespect the head coach like that. I'm with Dable. Move on from Wink.
Mm-hmm.
However, the record is what it is. And Wink has not won Dable has not won without Wink.
No, he hasn't.
End of story.
Yeah, and this is a fallacy. I think most people know this, and we've said this over time. But to me, you don't get full separation because you're an offensive background coach. That if the defensive side of the ball is a mess, you're not absolved of that. Like the ability to just, and this is what Parcells was great at, and other great, Sean Payton, I'm sure. You walk down the hall, you knock on the door, you sit down on the meeting for the other side of the ball that is not your direct side of the ball, and you yield some influence, you throw out some ideas, you tweak a couple of things here. Now you've got to hire people, let them do their jobs, but it can't be full autonomy when things are being driven into the ground. There's got to be a checkpoint, and the checkpoint that Dable has not been able to establish. Wink, it was a personality clash. Here with Bowen, it's something else. Enough of the excuses, guys.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Again, you can make a case that Dable has been better at his job than Shane, and maybe the only argument in favor of Shane would be that can you truly fully evaluate a new regime and a general manager specifically in just 4 years? Maybe that's the only case. Like, I don't know if you could, because the expectation would be, okay, hire a new general manager, and if he doesn't have immediate success, meaning in the first 4 seasons, you're going to do it again. And sometimes it could take a little bit longer than that to build out. I think it's been so bad, and the record's been so bad, you can't even justify evaluating beyond this year. If they were a 500 team at this point, if they were at any point over the last 3 years a little bit better than they've been, maybe you could make a case for extending this and seeing it through a couple more years because you don't definitively know. I think 4 years could be enough if you see it as bad as it's been consistently with Shane.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence to support what we've said for a while, and we've got a lot of football to watch. I don't think it gets a lot better. I don't think either gentleman is back, but story today is what we were talking about, which not necessarily both are tied to each other, which we find kind of odd. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal on the Fan. Hey, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs, guys. Cadillac. So now I'm still in my Cadillac. I no longer have the Escalade IQ. Hopefully someday I will. I'm in my X6, which is also phenomenal, but my God, what a month driving around in that spaceship. It was absolutely awesome, and you could drive it for performance or the range. When I souped that thing up with the battery at Target, I had almost 500 miles staring back at me on the dashboard, 490, which is insane. And of course, it's obviously also a nice way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So whatever the reason is, now's a pretty good time to say, hey, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, yesterday was let's take the Cadillac out of your driveway and back to the shop there, but it was great having him while we did. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You have the Escalade IQ. That's what you had, BT. The Vistic, the Optic. That's what I drove this year. Last year was the Lyric, and I love them both. And I get used to charging it now, and you're right. Didn't have to go to the gas station for a few weeks. That was great. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. A smooth ride as well. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
This week on The Fan.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see OAR 3 Decades Tour at PNC Bank Art Center on September 17th or at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater on September 18th, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com.
Brought to you by Live Nation, The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. 1 token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Ray Catino Lexus of Freehold is the largest Lexus dealership in central and southern New Jersey.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online and step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
What's the matter? What are you bringing in and out? I don't understand.
Dove has taken over the music today.
And
he played a song that he maybe should listen to the lyrics first.
Why is there cursing in it? I know
there was an F-bomb that was just
was there? Oh, that's why I'm wondering why you're playing. I'm like, I like this song. I didn't hear the F-bomb. BT and Sal back on the Fan.
I'll take over the music from now
on. Well, you say that, but then you just...
well, I gave Dove an opportunity.
You start roaming and talking, and the next thing you know, we're playing one of the generic rejoin beds. All right.
With F-bombs.
Before we get back to the calls here, the Knicks last night, big win over the Wizards. This is not a surprise here. I love the idea that people now overreacting one way or another. And by the way, I've been getting stuff like, oh, Mike Brown, even the other day when I went to Disney on Ice over the weekend at Prudential Center. It was fantastic. And somebody's like, oh, man, Mike Clown after just 4 games. I'm like, dude, it's not 4 games. I didn't like the hire to begin with. But while we all said that, after the Knicks went, what were they, 2-2 at that point, BT? I don't think they lost. Right, because Chicago was a Friday night game. We didn't talk much about the Knicks yesterday. So they looked awful Friday night in Chicago, and then people starting to rip Mike Brown and everybody else in the process. But if you looked ahead like we did last week, their schedule's soft here. Say they get 7 games in a row at home. Obviously, they beat the Bulls Sunday night. They clean up on the Wizards last night. And Cat predictably looked good. Like, that's what he does. There's a reason why Karl Anthony Towns has been a perennial all-star and why the Knicks went out and got him. It still doesn't do anything for me changing what I believe in this head coach or this group or this group overall.
I'm trying to enjoy every night. I really am. And I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to take the wins for granted. I mean, maybe against the Wizards we might, and the Nets, and against some of the doormats here. But my dilemma coming into the season, and I said this to you, was that in a lot of ways, when you're at this point, the regular season is fairly joyless, where when you lose a game you're not supposed to lose, the earth is, the sky's falling. When you narrowly beat a team that you're supposed to pummel, well, why didn't you win by more? Like, it's almost never good enough, because the answer to this season is going to be told and unveiled in May, and hopefully for the Knicks and the fans, for us, in June. So this has never been about Karl Anthony Towns. Does he have the capability to go, inside and out and score 30 and get 13 rebounds and, have 5 assists, which he did last night? When you're all NBA, when you're an all-star player, when you're a 25-point-a-game guy, as Karl Anthony Towns was a year ago, you're obviously a very talented player. He was a little bit banged up with the quad. Maybe he's getting healthier here, but it's just about like the...
Well, he's got to do it consistently.
He's got to do it against the teams that really matter. Yeah. And like last night, again, you're better than losing, but it's not going to do anything to satisfy those of us who aren't sold on the Knicks. Like, I'm not big picture, or those who aren't sold on Karl Anthony Towns' big picture, which I'm not. I know we could destroy and eviscerate the Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets and the Hornets and the Raptors and teams like that. What does it look like when it's late and when it's got to be buttoned up and tough and tight? That's my concerns with him.
Well, and he's still an offensive foul machine and still reckless and out of control with the basketball. All those things remain the same. Now, I love the talent of Towns. That's why I would have made that trade back then. I would do the trade over again. I still don't know if he's necessarily the final piece. I don't believe that him and Brunson together can be a championship tandem. However, the appeal of Mike Brown should be that they figure out a way to maximize what Cat can do offensively in a way that Tibbs couldn't do that, and we're still learning. It's now, 6 games in, whatever it's been here. So they have admitted it. They're a work in progress. It's evaluation mode. I have a hard time hearing those things. I understand that that's the realization here. It wouldn't have been the case if it were Tom Thibodeau. It would be another year with Tibbs and a second year with Tibbs and this new version of this Knicks roster and an even deeper roster at that. So we would expect them to be better in season. And now it's like, well, it's a new coach, new system, and there's going to be a work in progress evaluation mode. Well, for a team that has championship aspirations, that's not acceptable to me. Evaluation mode of what the Jets are doing. The Knicks should be hitting the ground running here. But sports have changed, and maybe they're not going to prioritize the regular season and make it more of a learning curve and seeing what's going on. I do think that last night, forget who they played or even how many points they scored, I saw a little bit more spacing and more perimeter ball movement, which is something that I'm looking to see from this team consistently. That has not been there for the prior game, so maybe they're getting there under Mike Brown, starting to learn the offense a little bit. I still don't trust it, but, I mean, the Knicks, look, they're winning with talent. They're far, far more talented than a lot of the teams in the NBA.
There's no question.
So even if the head coach isn't good or they're out of whack or they're learning, ultimately the talent is going to take over the majority of the time.
Against most of the teams, yeah. Now, listen, you start to see some, I guess, redefining of roles here. He's tightened the rotation a bit. Kolek didn't play a lot last night. I think Kolek was averaging like 12 or 13 a night.
He's playing garbage time.
Yeah, he was averaging like 12 or 13 minutes a night. I think last night it was reduced to whatever it was. And you start to get more from Clarkson. Josh Hart's back healthy, so you're starting to see a couple of bench components here. But think about this. Like, why is the NBA any different? I've said the last couple of years about the baseball season. The baseball, like the first part of the season, all right, see what you got. And then the next part, go and get what you don't have. And then the last part of the season, become ultimately who you're going to become.
Right.
And I think that applies to the NBA as well. We might not want to hear it.
The NFL, the first 4 weeks, it's evaluating because there's no preseason.
Sloppy based on the preseason stuff here. I mean, listen, again, it's 7 games in here for most of these teams. The Celtics are 3-5. We know it's going to be a mess for the Pacers. They're 1-6. We thought the Pistons would be better. They are. I don't know that I thought the Bucks would be this good so far. They are. Same with Philly. I didn't think they'd be this good. I don't really buy it, but they are. You know, the 2 teams were really 3 teams that we talked about the most coming into the Eastern Conference, into the season. The Knicks 4-3, the Cavaliers 4-3, and the Orlando Magic 3-4.
Yeah.
Translation: a lot of time to get it right, but for me,
I told you Sixers, man. People were sleeping on the Sixers.
I haven't watched them a ton. I just don't trust Embiid's body, dude. I just don't.
But still, even without him, VJ Edgecombe, they have talent as well. Like, they could be dangerous. I just don't think it's a given that everybody was saying the same thing. Like, the Knicks are just going to find themselves in the Eastern in the NBA Finals representing the East. I don't think that's a given, and I still don't believe in Mike Brown. But it's way early here. It's only 7 games in, and look, if you don't pace the Wizards at home, if you don't pace the Bulls at home, you've got some issues. So you're right. We're evaluating, and I think there's reason to be encouraged. But I wouldn't be taking any bows definitively if I'm the Knicks at 4-3 to start what should be a championship season. 4-3 through the first 7 games, not good enough.
Think about when we were younger too, like those Knicks teams or any other team that was really good, like a team that was in the conference finals the year before. It's autopilot. Like, you come out, you're 13-2, you're 15-5, you're 23-6.
And maybe they get there at some point.
I'm not saying they won't, but yeah, it is just the changing philosophies of sports where there's less emphasis on now. There's more emphasis on being healthy when it's all said and done. And by the way, Mitchell Robinson, I just, I know he missed the start of the season. He didn't play much in the preseason. He comes back. You're already with a maintenance day here. What is the deal with him? Like, that's we can talk about Karl Anthony Towns all we want, and we will. And he had a great game last night. Really good, 33, 13, and 5. Phenomenal. Like, all NBA kind of performance. But for the Knicks to maximize who they are, I think we all agree this. You want to see Mitch out there for 20-something minutes. You want to see Cat kind of more at the 4, getting some threes, doing a little mix and match inside, outside. If Mitchell Robinson's playing once a week, where are we going?
Yeah, I mean, but that's the player that he is, and I'd rather them have him have maintenance days than have him get hurt again for any extended period of time. So I'm okay with them working him back slowly, especially when they're in evaluation mode to start the year. My thing is this, and I don't know if this is just today's NBA with the majority of teams, like, if you hit the 3, you're going to look great and you're going to win. If you don't hit the 3, you're not going to look great and you're probably going to lose. And I hate that it comes down to that, but really it's
the game, man.
Yeah, but that's what it comes down to. So they're going to shoot a lot of threes.
Yep.
Hey, when they hit them, look at that. This is great. The threes are going in. Yeah, that's great. But then tomorrow night, they're going to be missing them. Like, that's That's where they're at. And the Knicks have a lot of talent. I don't think they have a lot of great shooters, but they have a lot of good shooters and better than anything that we've seen before and on par with the best in the league. Maybe not the best, but, top 5, whatever you want to say there offensively. I don't know, or 3-point shooting. But that, to me, is what it comes down to. And I don't know if I just don't love that being the case where, if they're hitting the threes, they're going to look like world beaters. And then when the threes aren't falling, they're going to be struggling.
Yeah, I think the Knicks, one of the reasons why I think the Knicks have a really high ceiling is because they're not fully reliant on the three. I mean, we know about Brunson's mid-range game, but obviously, I don't love Cat in the post, but, you can do some things in the right matchups there. And you've got some guys who can get to the rim. Obviously, Josh Hart's a full-court guy, rebound, their offensive stickbacks, Mitch around the rim lobs. I do think the Knicks are a team that can win a couple of different ways, which is encouraging. Jalen Brunson, now again, you're not going to measure against the Wizards. He didn't shoot the ball last night well. They still scored, 120 points, whatever it was. And really, almost every game, just look at the box scores, guys. I mean, it's like 125, 121, 137, 122. That's really become the game. And it's I don't love it, but I also don't want to be the guy screaming on the lawn, get off it. That was better back in the day, even though I believe to an extent it was. I appreciate the shooting prowess, but I do also appreciate, and it's a work in progress, what I think could be a team with a couple of different personalities that the Knicks could have. I think they could dig in and become a decent defensive team. They could run you out of the gym if they're hitting threes. They could bang you around inside with the right matchup. So I'm still bullish on the Knicks. I just can't overreact to Cat going bonkers against the Wizards, a bunch of kids who are 22 years old. I can't do it.
Bullish on them, though, to what extent?
To represent the Eastern Conference. I think it's going to be a death match with the Cavaliers.
In the finals?
To get to the Eastern Conference Finals. No, not even. I'm not even putting them there yet. No, remember when this...
I'd hope they get back to where Tibbs brought them to.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice with all these windows that have been open for them with the injuries. I think if the Knicks are... in that low 50 win total, which would have seemed very disappointing to start the year. But I think it's probably going to be a little bit more than that, than closer to 60, because Mike Brown's not going to play all these games to win. Right. I know that sounds crazy. But this goes back to what we started the conversation with. A lot of this is experimental. And as long as you know that, I think you can evaluate the Knicks for what they are in November and obviously beyond. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal here on The Fan. All right, let me tell you guys about FanDuel. All right, so FanDuel's putting you in control right from NBA tip-off. Speaking of the NBA, every day to start the season, you get to choose your reward. Take a shot with a profit boost, play it cool with a no-sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet-back token. Maybe you're a bold bettor, always chasing the big parlay. Maybe you're a careful strategist who plays it smart. Maybe you're somebody who likes to do the old emotional hedge. I know Evan likes to do this, the emotional hedge against his teams, and maybe the teams that you just don't like. The best part is that you get to pick the reward that best suits you. So make the pick, get in the game, play it your way. Head over to FanDuel.com/BT and make your choice. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel's the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. And, of course, restrictions to apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wage amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
Feel Jackson Dart saying, get on my back, let's go. We're going to go try to win this game. And then you get the other side of the ball where your best player, one of your best players, and Dexter Lawrence is just getting pushed around all over the field.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Chargers may be 6-3, but injuries are catching up fast. Rookie tackle Joe Alt is done for the year, and a banged-up line just gave up 6 sacks to the Titans. Now they face the Steelers and the Jaguars, two defenses that feast on weak protection. With key players still sidelined, it's hard to see Justin Herbert staying upright, let alone keeping the Chargers in the playoff chase. I'm Maggie Gray.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-848-2299. 800-848-2299. Again, that's 800-848-2299.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan truck or SUV and feel unstoppable. Whether you want to take your next level of adventure in the Frontier Dark Armor, the Pathfinder, the Armada, or the Rogue, you'll be ready for what comes your way. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum. Visit jdpower.com/awards for information based on 2025 model year 2026 Rogue from new dealer stock. 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price. See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Well, maybe I should have some old time.
BT Sal back on the Fan. Well, waiting Brian Baldinger. There has been a blockbuster trade here. I can see it now. Ian Rappaport has it as well, BT. Hold on to your seat here. Bogus just came in and tried to alert us to this. I'm looking at it right now. This has been confirmed, I believe, by multiple people, but I'm seeing it with Ian Rappaport as well. Sauce Gardner is going to the Colts. The Jets have traded Sauce Gardner.
Bullface truth. I nailed it. There's one.
The Jets have traded.
Wow.
You know what? This shows me that they have a clue.
I love this, dude. I love this. I mean, Gardner.
Told you he was overrated.
I wasn't pushing back.
Yeah. Well, we got into the fight a couple weeks ago about the Jamar Chase specifically.
Oh, yeah, but that's a coverage thing. But, but just to this is, I really have no problem with this at all. Matter of fact, I like this. What are they getting back? I would like to know that. I think that they foolishly gave him an extension. I mean, and they lamented that. I'm very surprised he's looked the way he's looked. Wow, you want to talk about a bold move. And I agree. This shows a conviction. This shows a direction.
Good for Muji.
Yeah, let's go.
And Glenn.
And Muji's been very good at trade so far. He's made some, lower level, not a profile like Sauce, but wow, this is a rocker right here. Let's go, baby.
Oh, we got Baldy here on the line. Dude, you'll love this. This is giving me goosebumps. Colts are trading 2 first-round picks to the Jets.
You gotta be kidding me, Sal. This is fantastic, baby. Let's go. Hey, give me some, Huff. This is the day.
Ow. Huff, why are you hitting me?
Easy, Huff. He's fragile over there.
We're joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide for your insurance and financial needs. Nationwide is on your side. Baldy, I didn't think they had it in them. Wow. I'm pleasantly surprised here. Give us your initial reaction to hearing Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts.
I mean, I'm surprised. I really am. I thought he was going to be a core player for a long time with this organization, especially Aaron Glenn being a former corner with the Jets, and the relationship you thought has not played great, certainly over the last 2 seasons. But I just did the Colts game against Pittsburgh, and I talked to Lou Anarumo on the sideline before the game, and they had just gotten Jalen Jones back, and he'd been hurt. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, so what? Like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with that? The Colts feel like they can make a legitimate run. I know the offense didn't play well against Pittsburgh, but I feel like they think they can make a legitimate run through the AFC. And if they had a real number 1 corner that could match up when they got to play some of these teams, that it would only help them because the front is very good. The linebackers are very good.
Okay, no disrespect to the Colts, but I don't care about the Colts right now. Let's get to the Jets' perspective here. I mean, Baldy is coming out of nowhere, and to get 2 first-round picks here, this shows like a boldness and a direction, like a clear willingness to make a call that's going to be unpopular in the eyes of some Jet fans, not me. But doesn't this have to give Jet fans some more confidence that the front office has a clue and a grip on what they want to do?
Well, they just traded away 2 starting corners, in the last week now. Michael Carter, to the Eagles, and now, and so it's clear that they're looking at the future here, and they're going to get as many chips as they can to go, whether it's to get a quarterback, whatever it is. They are thinking long term with this group right here, and that's what it tells me, that we're willing to trade one of our key core players to build for what we think can be a better future if we can keep this group together right now.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Sauce as a player overall, Baldy, watching the film? You think he's overrated, or where are you at with Sauce?
Well, I mean, he was dynamic his first year. I mean, he just threw a net over every receiver that he went against, and they couldn't get past him, and he was an all-pro player. But he has not played at that level since then. He doesn't look like he has a great deal of confidence in when he's going against elite players. The way you got to play in this league. You got to keep your hands off guys. You got to play the ball in the air. The ball skills are non-existent. I've teased him about it. Like, he have 1 interception in the last 2 years? And how many for his entire career? I mean, your corners, you want your corners and safeties to be able to take the ball away, whether it's tips, whether it's, just the instincts of where the ball is going to be and beating the receiver to the spot. Like, he doesn't produce in that area the way that I think a lot of teams covet. Now, if you're just shutting guys down and you're defending passes like he did his rookie year when he had 20 passes defense, you can live with that. But if guys are getting over the top on you and you're committing penalties and you're not taking it away, then, you're not an elite player in this business.
So what's next for him here? I mean, listen, we like to have you on and get to the film stuff and how players are doing, but I mean, this is breaking news. This is a big day. I mean, Breece Hall, would you trade him? And what do you do? You just keep going if you're the Jets?
I think so. I mean, Breece Hall's had a fantastic game in the last week. You can see that he still has vision and cutting ability and breakaway speed. He's got all that. But I mean, if you're going to trade away Sauce, then why not? I mean, you just won a game without Garrett Wilson. I mean, that's supposed to be their best receiver, and it's the best the quarterbacks ever looked, And so, I mean, Tyler Johnson looked just fine, and, maybe the rookie, Aaron Smith can be okay. But regardless, I don't think anybody is untouchable at this point. I mean, it's clearly about the future if you're trading away Sauce in the very prime of his career.
Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. BT and Sal talking about Brian Baldinger. Don't you think, Baldy, that this can expedite the process of bringing in guys to clean up what has been a horrible culture for so long? When you have Muji, new GM, Aaron Glenn, new head coach, they tried winning some games here. Finally, you got the win against the Bengals. But the only way to really change the culture is to change the roster and rid yourself of the players, even if they're good players like Sauce or potentially Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall. Don't you think that expedites the process here and it's something you could be excited about from a Jets perspective, trying to clean house and bring in new players?
Well, we've seen the Jets with 4 first-round draft picks. They didn't change much at one point in their careers. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with them and what kind of players you're bringing in and what you're looking for. And so, Darren's going to get this opportunity to bring in his kind of guys. Not that Sauce wasn't. I'm sure Sauce, every time I've been in practice, he's the first guy on the field. Like, he's always working. He's always preparing. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Sauce, the person, the culture, or anything like that. He just didn't have massive production at the quarterback position. But, yes, they got an opportunity. I think there's a lot of guys over there. It's not that there's that many veterans, but I think everybody's sick of losing over there.
Yeah.
If you said, if I don't know, if Quinton was on the show with us right now, he'd tell you he's sick of losing, sick of, being in the lazy boy at 5 o'clock after another loss. At some point you go, let me go someplace else and win some games, see what that's like.
I don't know how much you can answer this better than us for sure, but when you get traded in the NFL, it's obviously different than getting traded in baseball where you just get in the batter's box and do your thing, etc. Some plays in the NBA, so that's a little different. But going from, whether it's Sauce or anybody, from one franchise midweek, mid-season to another, that's different stuff in the NFL, no?
It is, but Jalen Phillips just left Miami, and that's a miserable place to be right now, and he's playing for Philadelphia, and he looks like the happiest guy on earth. But, it depends on, if it's about winning and the culture of winning and that feeling you get from winning, then Sauce is going to be in a better place, much better place. They've got a really good team, really good teamwork. So is it difficult? Yeah, in the middle of the week, who's taking care of the house? What do I take with me? Where do I live? Am I in a hotel for the rest of the season? All those kind of things. It's your day off. You're going to Indianapolis at some point today. Your life just changed. You're no longer a New Jersey resident. You're in Indianapolis where you don't know anything. He's from Detroit, so maybe he's been to India a little bit. But yeah, your life has changed, but sometimes it's changed for the better.
Baldy, how about the Giants here? I thought it was an embarrassing performance against the Niners team that was certainly vulnerable, being as banged up as they were. What'd you see on film, Giants-Niners from Sunday?
Defensively, that was awful. Just awful. To see them run the ball 8 times in a row, right down their throats. There's nothing that you want on your resume. Nobody wants that on the resume. You couldn't get them off the field. They didn't do anything. They literally, you're paying all these guys this money. Brian Burns got himself, another sack, and, Abdul got a fumble recovery there to take him off the field. But, they're not affecting the game at all. Any of them. What Deontay Banks did on that Brian Robinson touchdown is it's embarrassing. And you have to be called out when you play like that. But, they just didn't do anything defensively. And if it's not for Jackson Dart, they probably don't score a point. That guy is everything. He's the whole offense.
Yeah.
That guy is amazing. I just feel bad that he's got very little help around him. I don't know what happened to Tyrone Tracy. He looked like a good back last year. I don't know what he's doing right now, but he's not like he's breaking tackles or doing anything like we thought, we were looking at from a year ago.
Boldy, what is Dart's best quality?
He has an unbelievable ability to maneuver in a pocket and keep a play alive. And whether he's running or whether it's, finding an open receiver, but it's just, it's the competitive fire that he has. And sometimes I wish he didn't have that much. So, I thought Tatum Bethune put him to sleep, in the middle of the field on a scramble. I was worried the way he got hit. I'm glad they flagged it. But regardless, he's got to protect himself. But the competitive fire and just the unbelievable awareness in a pocket and where to maneuver, he's very good at it.
Baldy, make a case for the Giants to keep Joe Shane and Brian Dable.
Well, you got 8 or 9 games left to play. If you show some level of improvement overall, or just competitive fire and win some games, they got to win games. I mean, period. I don't care who they beat and how they beat them. But we're seeing teams that are coming off the mat and playing good football. Like, it's not, they've got to finish way better. That was, like, to see the 49er fans in that stadium, like, that was gut-wrenching if you're Brian Daboll or Joe Shane right now. And that's going to happen again. It's going to happen again to a team that's coming into that stadium.
Yep.
49ers travel like crazy, but that will happen again this year. And that would be gut-wrenching if it's all the opposing team in that stands.
Yeah, and what I was saying, Baldy, once they play the lower profile teams at the end of the year that don't have a national brand, that don't travel, well, then they'll just be empty seats instead of, the opposing fans, and that's going to make it untenable for ownership. So I think they're going to have a new coach. And I know it's a little early for this year, but we're throwing names out. I mean, Belichick. I mean, do you call them? I mean, is he done? Is it worth it? What do you do?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's available, I don't know what the contract is at North Carolina. If he's available, he basically got his start in New York with Parcells and started off as assistant special teams. I mean, he knows the history of this organization and the Mara family. I mean, you should at least, if he is available, make the call, have the conversation. But you'd kind of like to see this thing build with somebody young and fresh, the way some of these franchises. I mean, nobody knew Nick Sirianni. When he came to Philly, he was the 7th guy on their list of guys that they interviewed that year. But you kind of like to see it build with a proven general manager and a young coach that you could grow with.
Thank you, Baldy. We appreciate the time as always.
Okay, you bet, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Wow.
That's amazing.
Sauce Gardner on the move for 2 first-round picks, a first-rounder in 2026, a first-rounder in 2027. I'm shocked and pleasantly shocked. The Jets needed to move on from Sauce. He was overrated. I thought they made a mistake committing to him. That mistake is now gone. And Muji and Glenn have something to work with here, BT. 2 first-round picks in consecutive years, trying to bring in more of their guys to change this culture for the Jets.
There's so much here. I can't wait to get the reaction from Jet fans, too. But, you can't help but wonder, and I was thinking about this when we introduced Baldy, because the news just broke there, so I'm still processing it at the start of the interview. Like, they just signed him to the extension. I mean, is it possible that Muji is that next level, that the only way he could get this kind of draft capital back for Gardner, who he never had any intention of building around, was to sign him long-term to make him more appealing to another team? Think about this. If Gardner's not signed today at this moment, you're not getting 2 first-round picks back for him. So
they also got a player back here.
Okay.
This is now according to Jay Glazer, A.D. Mitchell. Wide receiver A.D. Mitchell to the Jets as well.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. It just doesn't seem like, why stop now? I mean, if somebody calls about Quentin Williams, what's that?
No. He's you got to go to the update here.
Yeah, I got you. If somebody calls about Q, and these are all things we'll unpack when we get back here, because there's still 3 hours to go. When you trade Gardner, you get 2 first-round picks back. I can't imagine that the party's ending.
All right, much more on Sauce Gardner when we come back. 888-808-1019 right now. Let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1. New York, an Odyssey sports station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 101. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. And by Motion Sports Medicine. Living in New York is not a spectator sport. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Get back to what moves you with Motion's expert physical therapist. Most insurance is accepted. Schedule an appointment at MotionPTG.com today. As you've been hearing, the Jets will not go quietly into the trade deadline. Darren Muji and company are sending Sauce Gardner to the Colts, reportedly for 2 first-round picks, and now wideout A.D. Mitchell as well. Sauce actually broke the news himself, tweeting, "New York, it's been real," before any newsmaker shared news of the trade. The deadline, of course, is now 3 hours away. Not surprisingly, Mets righty Frankie Montas has triggered his $17 million option for next season. He's expected to miss the entire campaign recovering from Tommy John surgery. A.J. Minter also opting in, while the Mets exercise their option on fellow lefty reliever Brooks Raley. Fan weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 56 degrees and sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
The Nets are going to Indiana to meet up with the Pacers. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. What a shocking trade today from the New York Jets. I didn't think they had the guts. Good for them. Muji showing he doesn't mess around. I love how he works in silence. Aaron Glenn as well, I'm sure identifying, look, Sauce Gardner, a good player, but he's not fitting into what we're trying to do here. Plus the idea that maybe it was just, hey, we got 2 first-round picks for him. Like, yes, please, thank you. 2 first-round picks, and you get a wide receiver. You know, Costos was texting me as well, saying the Jets bleeping smoked that, Costos with his foul mouth. Jets bleeping smoked that trade. Also talking about Mitchell as a receiver has a ton of upside. You'll like that.
No, okay.
But you get a receiver back that maybe could be of use. These are the type of trades that change the trajectory of a franchise. It seems harsh. Oh, my kid's favorite player. Oh, we love Sauce, and he was one of our guys, and great corner, and highly rated by PFF, whatever. These are the type of trades, though, that you look at, and you get 2 first-round picks and a wide receiver back. You could have 3 potentially, now they got to hit on those draft picks, but 3 potentially useful pieces that come into a new culture that Aaron Glenn's trying to build, not here and enduring the losing and all that negativity that Sauce has for years.
Yep.
This is a great day, I think, for the New York Jets.
I'm really, really, truly stunned, and I'm really, really, truly pumped. I mean, to break free of the chains of torture, you got to be bold here. I mean, the Jets aren't going to end this run of futility by nickel and diamond. Well, let me take a flyer on this nickel corner in the 5th round out of TCU. You've got to line things up. You've got to look in the mirror. You've got to be very honest in your self-assessment. And you've got to say to yourself, by the time, and I'm sure this was part of the evaluation with Muji, by the time we're really, really good, they don't have a quarterback yet. By the time we're championship caliber good, where is Sauce as a player? And I think that factors into this. And by the way, Muji here, we focus so much on the head coach once the season starts. I did this on the pod last week. He drafts Membu, who has been phenomenal on the right side. He drafts Mason Taylor, who's been really, really solid as a young tight end, second round. He traded Brownlee from the Tennessee Titans, which enabled him to trade Michael Carter, and Brownlee has been very good. He fleeced them. He got Stevens. Now, Stevens was somebody, he signed him as a free agent, and he went from the Ravens as a corner, was not playing well the first 2 games. The last 6 games, whatever it means to you, whatever, that's up to you. He's graded really, really, really well. And they found a punter in McNamara, who's 24 years of age, who ranks high in whether it's net, whether it's hang time, whether it's pinning opponents inside the 15, the 10, the 5, all the different increments. So even the Justin Fields deal is structured smartly, where it's a nominal commitment to their starter. We think he's the starter. He won't really tell us, but we'll see eventually anyway. If he plays this Sunday, I think he will. So that's not a lot of money to Justin Fields if and when you move on from him. So now you get 2 first-round picks, which you can and it's not just 2. You can take one of them and then get 4 more picks, or you can take one of them and shoot up the draft board to get the guy that you absolutely love as the quarterback. None of this guarantees anything, but again, trying to inch toward relevance was doing nothing. This is a bold move, and Muji has had a really good couple of months. I'm impressed.
Think about the clean start that we've had here with the Jets. You fire everybody, you hire a general manager, hire a head coach, build it from the ground up. And then in year 1, obviously the 0-7 wasn't great, but they finally get their first win. Okay, and now you get a general manager that is aggressive here, moving on from a piece. The easy thing to do would have been, we got Sauce Gardner. He's a talented quarterback. Let's try to build and win with him. The more challenging thing to do, but the better move, is to say, I want my own guys in here. Why am I committing to a guy who's been underperforming, who's been part of a losing culture for a long time here? Well, now they get to evaluate him for the first 7 games, whatever it is that he's played so far this year. I know the injury. So you evaluate him. You see that maybe he's not all that you thought he could be or would be. You also know that the return that you're getting is astronomical for a corner. I don't care if it's a top corner or not. 2 first-round picks for a new regime to say, let me pick my type players with AG and bring them in, not to mention get a receiver on top of it. I don't know how you can't think this is a slam dunk every which way for the Jets. And it's exciting to have. Now, the Muji will be judged on what he does with those picks. Not only those picks, but what he does in the next couple of drafts. But that's what you want, a new GM to come in, stockpile some picks here, clean out the mess, evaluate what you have, and then he's going to have to hit. If you do that, now that's how you turn a losing franchise around. It's a beautiful move. Now he's got to, on top of that, make sure that he hits here and starts to bring in some players that fit the culture. They start to win some games, and then the rest would be history.
And I'd be surprised if he's done for the day. We'll find out. He got a couple hours, obviously, 4 Eastern deadline. I would trade him, Sal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give him big money.
What about Garrett?
Garrett, I would keep. Garrett Wilson, I would keep. I think that it's...
You get a couple first rounders. See ya!
Yeah, if you're going to... Dude, if I'm going to walk away today with, 4 first round, I don't think you answer the phone, and you're open to everything. Now, of the 2, I always valued Garrett Wilson more. There's just, and I do think that Boldy hit on something really important. It's not that Sauce was a bad culture guy, and even said he was the first on the field. I think that Gardner was really well-intentioned. I think what he did really well, he was great at. The problem was, as the league found out what he couldn't do well, they just ran right at him. They got him away from the sideline, which every corner likes to use as a boundary. But for him particularly, he's much better along the sidelines than in the middle of the field because he's not strong. And he was getting more and more handsy, and the flags were coming after they were swallowed. Usually, you would think that it would be the opposite. They would throw flags early as a rookie when you're grabbing people, and as you get some respect, now they start swallowing it. The opposite. They let him do it as a rookie. Either way, I think it's a very forward vision. I think it's definitely bold. I am all for trading. You want Quinnen Williams? You can have him. Let me just tell you right now, here's who I would not trade. The left tackle, the right tackle, Garrett Wilson, and Mason Taylor. And I think that's it. You want somebody, call me, let's talk shop.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you could always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. And now Jet fans have a new thing to root for, because not only are you going to root for your team to win some games here and try to build a different winning culture with Aaron Glenn, you're also going to be rooting for the Colts to lose because you want better picks or a better pick. The number ones, one in the 2026 draft and then one in 2027.
And that's one of the things we were talking about during the break. Like, okay, Daniel Jones had a really good year. Obviously didn't play great this past weekend against the Steelers, but it's not like Andrew Luck is there or Peyton's there where this team is guaranteed to win 13, 14 games a year. You don't know. I mean, who knows what that becomes down the road. And as soon as we went to break, Hoff came in. He was on the phone. Baldy, phone's ringing, obviously, news breaking, so it's pretty nuts here. We'll get these Jet calls. Can't wait to get to the Jet fans today. But he said what I had said. He didn't hear me say because he was busy. That was my point about you have to wonder if this was done with intention, meaning let's sign him with the intention to trade him, because you're not getting a singular first-round pick, let alone two, if Sauce doesn't have a contract. So now we can make the case that's also a risky move, because if you do that with the intention to move him, if you believe that that's possible, which I do, well, if he played so horrendously that nobody wanted him or he got hurt, now you're stuck with a bad deal for a guy who's overrated and you don't get the first-round picks. I believe, based on Muji's early moves, this guy strikes me as the next level thinker. I would not be stunned that this was pre-planned and this is orchestrated.
I'm not going to go as far as to say I think he signed him with the intent to trade him, but I think you signed him knowing that you still could trade him, that there's value there if need be. If he turns out to be great and you think that he's a valuable piece to this team moving forward, great. You keep him and you get him at a deal that you're comfortable with. If not, he's certainly a tradable piece, which obviously he is tradable because they just got 2 first-round picks. But I can't say that we don't know. It's your opinion versus my opinion or our thought. We have no idea what he's doing. I can't say I don't think that would be smart business to sign a guy with the intent to trade him. You could sign him saying, in the event that I might need to trade him, this is a tradable deal. That is different than saying, we're going to trade him, let me sign him now and try to maximize the return.
I'm just either way, and we might not ever know the answer. I'm just surprised. Like, I remember saying when Aaron Glenn came in, I'm like, of all the players on the roster, don't you think from Aaron's perspective, I remember Aaron Glenn saying that I've watched every rep of every defensive player taken last year, and I believe that. The guy's doing his homework, doing his due diligence. If you're Aaron Glenn, having played that position, don't you think that you would have the best read on Gardner coming into the season than any other player? So,
and then getting to coach him, though, is a different story, too. And then get a different
it is. And I think he's very coachable. I just think that he's not what we thought he was. So, wow, very, very interesting day for the Jets. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Eddie calling from Vernon, New Jersey. What's up, Eddie?
Hey, Ed.
Yo, what's up, BT and Sal?
Eddie?
I want to talk about Sauce Gardner. We can start calling him Gravy Gardner now.
Oh, he's gone, Gardner, now. We can start calling him nothing because he's going to be irrelevant as far as we're concerned in New York.
Yeah, but it was the sauce and gravy thing.
Oh, you remember.
The argument.
Remember. I get it.
I know you do.
Yeah.
We got it.
Love you guys.
Oh,
do you like the trade?
I like the trade. I don't mind 2 first-rounders, of course.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Well, you like Gravy Sauce argument more than you do care about the football stuff. I'm all for having fun. I mean, come on, we're talking about a serious trade here, a shocking trade. Eddie, the first call up messing around about the Sauce guy and Gravy stuff.
One of the bigger trades we've had in a long time here.
It's a massive deal.
It's huge.
2 first-round picks coming back, plus a wide receiver with potential.
Right now, the Jets are 3rd on the draft board, and remember, they're still trying to recover some of the assets they gave up for Aaron Rodgers. So, they are in a hole. They're in a big hole here for a long time. And the way you do that, if you trust the people in your building, is you let them do things that might be a little too aggressive in the eyes of some. I love it because you never get off the treadmill by standing still.
Let Muji cook. And by the way, this also, now, again, we don't know the inner workings. We know the reports on the inner workings of the Jets, and we've heard about the dysfunction for years. But think about it this way. Maybe Woody Johnson, to me, if anything, Woody would have an affinity for Sauce. Player they drafted.
Yeah. Remember he was wearing the big chain?
Yes. Get big chain, give him the contract. He's a guy that represents some of the good, like one of the young players that the Jets drafted and hit on, even though I think he's a bust, like, you know what I mean, relative to expectation. The fact that he wouldn't get in the way of a trade like this, to me, is also a great thing, meaning I would bet that Woody was as far away from this one as possible. Now, I'm sure the deal ultimately had to go through him, but I'm glad that it got approved, and this wasn't one of those that we find out in a year from now or 6 months. Muji tried to make a trade, and Woody said no, he loves Sauce too much, or his son likes playing with him on Madden, so they couldn't trade him for 2 first-round picks for the Colts. This is a big trade that when you get the approval of the owner like that, I think that that's a good thing as well, staying the hell out of the way.
We would have had to stuff Woody in a locker if he got his fingerprints on this. Stay out of the way. Let the football people make some moves. Come on, Wood. Good job.
You know what I mean? He could have. Hold on. I got 3 people talking to me at once here, Dove. He could have impacted it. What were you saying, Dove?
I guess his Madden rating went down. So Woody said, okay.
Thank you. I was just looking at the Colts schedule as well. Colts play the Falcons in London.
Let's go Falcons.
At the Chiefs.
KC, hail Chiefs.
Home against the Texans.
Let's go Texans.
At Jaguars.
Come on, Jags.
At Seattle. Actually, a very
Seattle's
difficult.
good.
Yeah, home against the Niners.
Okay.
Jags again, and then
Tough
at
schedule.
the Texans.
Let's go.
All of a sudden, that pick can be...
I feel alive. I'm not going to lie to you. I do feel alive, at least pertaining to the Jets. I got a little invigorated today, Sal. Let's go.
Angelo calling from Wayne, New Jersey. What's up, Angelo?
I like it.
Yeah, guys, I got home from cataract surgery, and I read the news, and I was like, somebody pinch me.
How'd you read the news? Right? You read it or you heard it? You read it right after surgery?
I heard it, read it. A friend texted me. I was like, this can't be real.
It's
2
real.
first rounders for a guy that can't even tackle me. I mean, I'm loving this trade. I'm going to get a Muji jersey tomorrow. Plus, Donnie Mitchell. Plus, I think he was a first or a second round pick. This Mitchell kid.
I don't know. I don't know much about him. I'm familiar with the name. I'd be lying to you, Angelo, and thank you for the call if I said I knew a lot about him. Costos texted he has potential. I have no idea where he was.
What's his name
drafted.
again? I'm so
A.D.
focused.
Mitchell.
Well, I'm sorry?
A.D.
Mitchell.
A.D. Mitchell. I'm so focused on the big stuff. Man, I mean, imagine if they actually got a receiver out of this. That's
This
good,
has been
too.
talked about for a while now that they were hoping to trade, or a lot of fans wanted A.D. Mitchell to be traded to somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Because the Colts had no interest in playing him, but supposedly...
So what, the Giants wanted them, you're saying?
I think a lot of Giants fans, I think a lot of fans across the NFL were looking for A.D. Mitchell to come to their team.
Really? 6'2", 205,
Second round
23,
pick.
young kid, Georgia, Texas, played, bounced around a little bit.
Second round pick in 2024, dude.
Yeah, he's young. Let's see. The last couple of games here, whatever. I had 3 for 96 against the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers aren't going to blow you away, but it's just what he can potentially do.
Okay.
I mean, look, if you're taken in the second round of the draft not too long ago, I mean, there's some potential there.
Yes.
This is not just some third receiver scrub the rest of the way. A guy taken in the second round, there's some potential that maybe the Jets you hope to unlock here, and it's certainly a department that they needed to upgrade. So who knows about A.D. Mitchell? That's not why you make vodka. It's 8 long. They go down so smooth. It's not a seltzer. It's a Surfside. Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see AC/DC Power Up Tour coming to MetLife Stadium September 25th, 2026, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. It's all from the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The Magic laying 3.5 points on the road at the Hawks. The Magic's biggest weakness is defending point guards. They give up the most points per game of any defense to that position. But lucky for the Magic tonight, the Hawks will be missing their star point guard. Trae Young is expected to miss the next 4 weeks with a knee sprain. Lay the points with the Magic. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. 1 token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Well, think again. Bring in your AT&T and T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save with phone deals, streaming, and plans where everybody in the family can choose their oin plan and save. So, bring your bill to your local Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal.
Rankings based on Root Metrics. Root Score Report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Want to turn up the heat and turn up the savings this winter? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather, flexible pricing plans, an easy budget plan, and live 24/7 service and support. Go with your local HVAC pros at Petro for best-in-class service and comfort you can count on. Use propane? Ask about special offers. Go to petro.com now to get your $125 free heating oil or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. Propane not available in all areas.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. Made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Get right back to the Sauce Gardner calls or the trade deadline stuff. Will the Giants make a move? What time is the deadline? 4 p.m., right? 4 p.m. today. So we'll see a blockbuster. We're shocked at that. Real quick, the Perfect Parlay pick segment recap. You never gave picks.
I was sick as a dog, bro. You can still hear it. He was sick, too, for a couple days.
You never say. He sent his picks in.
He sent them in?
Not to me. He texted them, and then I was thinking, should they even count? Like, maybe a part of the Perfect Parlay appeal is you have to be here to do it. Either way, you never sent your picks in.
No.
He sent his in. He lost anyway. I lost anyway on the Giants, so no harm, no foul. But you missed an opportunity.
That's true. I missed an opportunity
I went 2-1.
Win again.
He went 2-2. You went 0 for 0 for 0. So,
and the funny thing is, I was laying in bed, and I'm like, I want to get these picks in. And then I'm like, I was going to actually, just to keep the spirit of the competition, because couldn't get out of bed. I'm like, I'm not digging. I'm not looking at scores. I'm just not doing it. I was going to text you, just take like the first 2 games that pop up on the app and give me the 2 dogs, whoever they are. I couldn't even do that. I just couldn't muster it up. So.
All right. Either way, no stand and no change in the standings. 155 for Hoff, 90 for me, 40 for UBT. We'll get back at it ahead of Week 10 coming up on Friday. Let's get back to the calls here. Rock is on Long Island talking about his, what the heck? Oh, I can't do that. Sorry. Bad beeping there. Rock was on hold for a while. I feel
that
like,
was Summers, actually.
God, that hurt my ears. That was loud. Rich is calling from Saddlebrook, New Jersey. What's up, Rich?
What's up, guys? I get wanting to get rid of Sauce. I get it. There was a couple concussions there. The plays tailed off. But, man, it is completely sobering to think how far we really are from competing. And then you look at the Colts, they're 7-2, maybe the best team in the AFC. These picks are going to be in the high 20s maybe the next 2 years. It's not that exciting.
Yeah, where'd the Giants get Dart? Where'd the Giants get Dart?
Are we sure Dart's the guy? You got more confidence in that than me. He's going to be a new offense with a new coach next year.
You know, but that's, listen, I got it. Maybe I like him more than you. That's fine. But you can't tell me that he's not, at the very least, on the lowest scale of measurement, very, very interesting. And I think he's 5 miles past that. You know, that's all I'm saying. So, to me, the more...
BT,
yeah.
Doesn't this feel like the Jamal Adams trade again, which yielded no results?
No.
You know what I mean? We traded Adams for these picks. Tell me what feels different about that.
Yeah, well, number one, you've got different people making those picks, so I can't associate absolute failure with a new regime who has not. It's not fair to them. Like I don't operate under that mindset. Well, if the Jets never do anything well, no matter who's running the show, they'll never win or draft the right guy. Otherwise, what the hell are we watching the games for?
Rich, how many games does Sauce Gardner help you win?
Not that many. I get it. My father always tells me we can lose without him.
There you go.
You know what I mean, we were losing with him. We can lose without him.
Now
I get it.
You're right, Rich, and thank you for the call. Good stuff. Good back and forth, and we appreciate the difference of opinion here. But you're right in that what good are the picks if you don't hit on them? That's the key. He's got to now hit on those picks. However, holding on to Sauce Gardner or even Jamal Adams years ago, that to me would have been a stupid win. I love Jamal Adams. I loved him as a player. Obviously, he turned out to have a disastrous career. It was a total bust.
Oh, when he first got here, I loved him. I was a huge fan.
I loved him. I loved the pick
Every
at the
Jet
time.
fan did.
Right. So, I hated the idea that you would even have to be in a spot that you had to trade him. Unfortunately, the Jets are in a spot now where there's no use of keeping Sauce Gardner. Not to mention that I think he's overrated and a bust anyway. But even if you say, well, he's good in coverage and he grades out well, that's great. He's not helping them win games. The 2 picks plus a receiver could potentially help them win games. And I'd, in theory, rather have a new GM pick 3 players, which he did in this case, 1 with A.D. Mitchell, 2 with his draft picks, then keep a guy that's a holdover, regardless of how good he is, especially if you're not winning any games.
Yeah, it's just very confusing that the new regime gave him the contract extension. It wasn't a holdover. He didn't absorb that, but that's a different element of the discussion. Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. The other thing, too, is because there's no guarantee that you're going to pick the right guys, clearly. And, yeah, I mean, Gardner might go there, different scheme, better team, go back to being an all-pro, and Jet fans will be squawking forever and crying about this, which I won't. I'm going to live in the I'm not just going to live in the moment of being happy with something. Like, I love this. Like, you were out on Gardner a while ago. I was late to the party, but definitely eventually got to the party of this guy's overrated. Now, you and I were going back Jamar Chase, and that was a fun debate. It was all over the map. It was nuts. It was loud, whatever. I know he can cover, but he just doesn't do enough. So I was open to moving on from him. And those things are debatable and subjective. What's not debatable, though, aside from the draft capital you get, now, the Jets also are going to help reset their finances a little bit here. Right. So, again, I'm not getting weedsy on the salary cap because so much of this is fungible. But I'm looking at it now. Right now, the Jets have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just give you the basic thumbnail sketch. The 6th most cap space going into 2026. Chargers, Titans, Raiders, Rams, Commanders, then the Jets at around $80 million. The cap will go up, and this is without the adjustment of cap's number coming off the books. Now, I don't know what the Jets will absorb based on the trade and accelerating stuff. Who the hell knows? The NFL finances confuse the heck out of me, but I can promise you they're not going to go higher. They're going to get a little more financial solvency here. So whether it's more money to spend, more draft picks to do, another receiver to gauge, see if he... I mean, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm more pumped by the second.
This is one of those, you know how I always talk about, I don't just make my opinion based on the results. The results down the road may not turn out to be favorable. Maybe Sauce Gardner goes and has an all-pro career and wins the Super Bowl with the Colts. Maybe Muji picks 2 bust players with those 2 picks. I'm not worried about the results right now. Eventually, they're going to be judged on the results of those. In the moment, this move on the surface, regardless of the result, how they do with the draft, to me, couldn't be more of a home run for all the reasons you mentioned. They get 2 picks, 2 top picks, a receiver, and they shed a salary of a player who was underperforming at the very least. Come on.
Here's the other thing that
if they would have gotten 1 first-round pick, I would have been excited about it.
I may have been too. Like, if it was first and third, I would have been like, yeah, good stuff.
2 firsts?
It really is amazing. And I understand that certainly this year, right now, they've got, I think it's the best record in the NFL, I think. So, but we'll see. Whether they're 20th or 15th, whatever it's going to be next year, we'll worry about that. What this does to me, too, is signal to and nobody said this yet, so I'll be the first to say it. This signals a mindset which should be energizing to Jet fans and I mentioned some of the moves before, whether it's the Brownlee move, a little lower level, small move in season, a massive franchise-altering move in season. Doesn't that tell the Jet fan right now that the general manager is bold, is proactive, he thinks outside the box? Yeah. Shouldn't that at least give you the belief that this is the right man? The belief, I don't know yet, but the belief that this is the man for the job? Yeah. It does me. It's a different mindset.
It takes guts to make a move like that as well. Wes is calling from Little Egg Harbor. What's up, Wes?
Hey, fellas, what's going on? Calling about the trade. Sauce Gardner, fired up about it. I got to tell you, fired up. As a Jet fan, I could finally come out of hiding. I could wear my Jets gear again. You know what I mean? This is good stuff. 2 first-round picks? Absolutely. Let me tell you, Sauce Gardner's been living in Revis's shadow since he's got there. How many interceptions does Sauce Gardner have throughout his whole entire tenure as a Jet? Okay? Last week we won against Cincinnati. He wasn't there. We won without him. We don't need him. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Well, just aren't good, but yes, you meaning when you say good, you meaning you're prepared to move on from Sauce. Now, I think it's all, as am I. I think it's unfair, and nobody's doing this necessarily. It's not all his fault that the team's an utter dysfunctional clown show mess. I mean, he tried his best the first year. He was great. Year 2, he was pretty good. Then it got worse. But maybe he got wrapped up in the losing. Maybe he's just not what we thought would have. Maybe the league figured him out. It's not all his fault. Nobody's remotely saying that. It takes, multiple players and the right scheme and the right coaches to change this thing in the NFL. But I am at least open to change because you didn't win with him. And, if the defense was dominant and they were still losing because the offense was terrible, that's one thing. But the defense hasn't even been that good with him. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. So expendable in my eyes. No doubt about it.
100%. And that's why we think it's a great trade. Manny is calling from Far Rockaway. What's up, Manny?
Hey guys, love the show. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay.
I gotta. First of all, we completely fleeced the Colts. Gotta give it to Muji. Great move. Real quick point about A.D. Mitchell. I don't know if you remember. This was a draft where they took Malachi Corley, the previous regime.
Yeah, that's right.
The Jets put out a video and they're trying to trade up for him. And Joe Douglas is saying when the Colts took him before, he's like, "Oh, thank God they took him, not our guy."
I don't remember. That was the name, huh? I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, just cool.
Yeah, Malachi was the Yak guy, right? The Yak King, they called him in college. What's he doing? Yeah, I know.
He's the one who dropped the touchdown through the end zone.
I know. Yeah, so I don't remember that little tidbit there from the war room here. But, a lot of these times we evaluate, the big ticket items. A lot of times, I have an awful lot. Maybe that's overstating. But sometimes you get something back where it's a little bit of a throw in, a filler, and it winds up being, a piece of the puzzle during winning years for a team.
Hoff, what were you saying about Art Stapleton here?
Yeah, he just put out a tweet, and I know he doesn't cover the Jets, but he covers the Giants, and so he's in the know with some places. And he said the Jets did not sign Sauce Gardner to trade him.
Is that what he says?
That's all he says.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense. You wouldn't sign a player to trade him. Like I said, you can have the thought process of, I'm going to sign this guy and know that if I needed to trade him, it's still a tradable contract. Maybe something like that. And I don't know if this was that particular case. But either way, who cares how we got here? We got here. And to me, this is the best thing for the New York Jets organization and football team and Aaron Glenn and Muji. It's not to rip Gardner to shreds. It's that it wasn't working here for a variety of reasons. They can lose 7 games without him. So you don't need him. And if you could turn that into 2 first-round picks plus a wide receiver, oh, my God. The Jets need more good players. And with more picks and bringing in a wide receiver and, to your point, BT, shedding that salary now, it's easier for you to bring in more players with Muji and Aaron Glenn that are going to fit what they are trying to do.
And I'm very curious what happens the rest of the day here. We got a couple of hours. I mean, Jermaine Johnson's been rumbling. He's been in rumors here. Will McDonald, maybe Breece Hall. We've obviously talked about that. I don't think Garrett Wilson's going anywhere. And I do think it's important to, have one guy that you draft and develop just for a cultural perspective. But listen, the shop is open. Cole Mooch. This guy likes to make trades. I love it. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal on the Fan. I haven't felt this good since one of the first touchdown drives against the Steelers. I am fired up, man. I really am. Let's go. All right, FanDuel's putting you in control right now, guys. From NBA tip-off every day to start the season. You get to choose your reward. Take a shot with a profit boost. Play it cool with a no-sweat bet, or get a little backup with a bet back token. Maybe you're a bowl bettor who likes to chase the big parlay. Maybe you like the careful strategy and you play it smart. Maybe you do the old emotional hedge. Evan is big into that against the teams, or maybe teams that you just hate. The best part is, guys, basically you get to do what you want to do. So that's the important part of this with FanDuel. Pick the reward that best suits you. Make your pick, jump in the game, play it your way, and head over to FanDuel.com/BT to make your choice. We love the app around here. It is safe. It is secure. And when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel's the official sports book of us here at The Fan. Of course, WFAN, 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions to apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements too, max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Chris McMonagle overnights on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
There is no way Joe Shane should stay if Brian Daboll leaves. No way. That makes absolutely zero sense. They are now tied together. If there's a change coming, it's an entire regime change.
Listen to CMAC on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Before they lost to the Bills this weekend, the Chiefs were still the Vegas favorite to win it all. But now they're 5-4. If the season ended today, they'd be out of the playoffs. They should be fine, but some of the magic hasn't been there. They almost always win close games, but this year they're 0-4 in one-score games. That's very non-Chiefs-like, and one of the many things they need to get right for the stretch run. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline line at 800-505-9257. 800-505-9257. 800-505-9257.
Accident victims, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. What do you think matters most when you have to hire the right lawyer? Experience? Well, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've handled tens of thousands of cases and recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for people just like you. To me, what matters most is that I actually care. I'm going to make sure you have a say in what happens with your case. You, me, and our entire team of over 50 trained professionals are going to fight together to get you every dollar you deserve. Because for me, it's personal. Your pain has a price, and we're going to make sure the insurance company pays. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you 24/7. So give me a call today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24, and ask for me, John D'Agostino. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on zero down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out. At Nielsen,
Fridays in the driver's seat. Black Friday sales event.
With approval term 24 months due at signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819 at tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's call of the day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. We got Baldy here on the line. Dude, you'll love this. This is giving me goosebumps. Colts are trading 2 first-round picks to the Jets.
You gotta be kidding me, Sal. This is fantastic, baby. Let's go. Hey, give me some, Huff. This is the day.
Ow. Huff, why are you hitting me?
Easy, Huff. He's fragile over there.
We're joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide for your insurance and financial needs. Nationwide is on your side. Baldy, I didn't think they had it in them. Wow. I'm pleasantly surprised here. Give us your initial reaction to hearing Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts.
I mean, I'm surprised. I really am. I thought he was going to be a core player for a long time with this organization, especially Aaron Glenn being a former corner with the Jets, and the relationship you thought has not played great. Certainly over the last 2 seasons.
The only way to really change the culture is to change the roster and rid yourself of the players, even if they're good players like Sauce or potentially Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall. Don't you think that expedites the process here, and it's something you could be excited about from a Jets perspective, trying to clean house and bring in new players?
Well, we've seen the Jets with 4 first-round draft picks. They didn't change much at one point in their careers. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with them and what kind of players you're bringing in.
All right, I'm just reading some tweets here. Of course, call of the day. In case you missed anything, check it out on the free Odyssey app. Connor Hughes of SNY talking about how there are teams still interested in Breece Hall. Quentin Williams, a name to watch.
Quincy.
Quincy as well.
And Quentin, yeah.
Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
He's also, and I'm sure that there are some people that get into this idea, well, the Jets get these draft picks and now they're going to try to use those draft picks to draft a player like Sauce Gardner. No. In this particular case, what you're trying to do, this is year one of a total rebuild. Strip it down to the studs and rebuild it. Get anybody in here that was a part of the stench before out. That would be my philosophy. You want to keep Garrett Wilson, whatever. But anybody that's got any value, get something for it. Now you are in a position of power. Now, what Muji and Glenn do with it is going to ultimately determine if the Jets are able to turn this thing around or if those guys are going to be fired. I'm going to be back in the same cycle again that we've been over time and time again. But you want to put yourself in a position of power. Clean slate. Rookie GM, rookie head coach, starting fresh from year one. Forget about the wins, losses. Try to build this thing the right way. Now you stockpile a couple of first-round picks, get a wide receiver with potential, maybe more to come. But either way, you get your next draft. It's all your draft again. You could also trade up to get a quarterback. This is a position of power. This move is the beginning of the Jets setting themselves up very nicely here for the next few years as far as taking a run at turning this whole thing around.
The Jets have become power brokers all of a sudden in an incredibly unconventional and unexpected way here. They're power brokers in the sense that this extra draft stock and cupboards filling, if you will. Now, they could do things in 2026 that they couldn't do before this trade was made necessarily. Same for 2027.
Right.
I don't know who's out there, but if there's a quarterback that is maybe disgruntled behind the scenes for a team that's already really good around the NFL, and I don't mean like a veteran retread. I mean, hey, listen, Matthew Stafford was dealt. Who the hell knows what could happen anymore? So
Goff was dealt to the Lions, change everything around there.
No doubt about it. This can put themselves at the central part of any meaningful quarterback discussion, either collegiately or current players now really for the next couple of years. So this opens things up. Awesome.
Not to mention, but we will again, that it's not like Sauce Gardner was Darrelle Revis. When the Jets traded Revis, we were talking about it, Revis is the best player, certainly the best corner, and the Jets were maybe in a little bit of a different spot back then. I remember not loving that, or even the Jamal Adams thing. This is different. Sauce Gardner was underperforming, and the idea you would be able to move on from him and save cap space and save financial flexibility and get 2 top first-round picks back and a third and a wide receiver. Not to mention, I'm not sold that the Colts are going to have one of the best records. Right now, they have one of the best records. We went over the schedule before. Not that easy. I could see things falling off a little bit for the Colts.
Can they lose 2 out of 3 at some point? Sure. I don't think that they're above that. Matter of fact, I almost expect them to. And you're right. They do get cash, which we don't really care about. That's more of a Woody thing.
Yeah, but you could use that elsewhere.
Yeah, but they get a lot of cap space, which is something that you and I were watching during the break here. Sets them up. Awesome. Phenomenal.
Eddie is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Ed?
What's up, Ed?
Hey, BT and Sal, love you guys. It's a great day for the Jets.
It is.
Are you kidding me? Who's questioning this, man? It's a lost season, man. We got you just explained it perfectly, Sal. Everything we got for this guy. And that makes me wonder, were there pitchers in the foreman that were involved in this? I mean, you gotta be kidding me, man. Keep it going, bro. I want to keep Jermaine Johnson. I want to keep Will McDonald. The old line, like BT said, I want to keep those guys. Everybody else, Garrett, we'll keep him. But everybody else, keep it going, bro. Don't stop now. Keep it going.
Well, it's good job, Ed. Good passion. It's on Muji and Glenn, and this is what happens in year one when they're evaluating what they have inherited here. It's on them to identify, no, this could be anybody. I don't care if they have value or not. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, it's on them to decipher whether they believe those guys are worth investing in long-term, keeping them here, being part of the turnaround, or saying, you know what? It's not worth it. I'd rather get whatever pick we could get back. Breece Hall, same thing. Is he going to be part of the turnaround? I'm okay with whatever they decide to do, but that's what needs to happen. Those guys evaluating their players for the first 8 weeks of the year.
That's a big part of it, and that's a really important part. And it's not, you can watch tape and see you're in the building and on the field every day, seeing the habits, whatever. The ability to elevate teammates. I remember this is very interesting to me because I always thought, I never looked at it in this term, but I had Patino on the Unkillable podcast. You're like, why would you? He's not even a Jets fan. Well,
told you I like that one.
Yeah, you did see that. I think that's the only one you watched. So I'm one for one, man. Listen to it. There you go. So I wanted Rick on to talk about how do you build a culture, Because, again, we ask the question all the time, where do you start? Where do you start? And I was always under the mindset, the best way to build the culture is to get rid of the bad guys, the me guys, and that's the obvious stuff, the selfish people. Now, Sauce is not a selfish guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not even a me guy. He's just not a Glenn guy necessarily. And that's why the real-time evaluation of the roster, I give them so much credit for cutting the cord with somebody that, while every call we've taken so far has been favorable, and the results or the reaction on social media has been overwhelmingly the Jets crushed it, there will be some dissenting views, people who do love Sauce and maybe think he's better than you and I do. And they're going to have a problem with that. You can't factor that in. He's a good guy, but he didn't fit, and that's okay.
And they weren't winning with him. It's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not a bad person.
It's okay.
Yeah, he wasn't. They weren't winning with him. Like, I hate the idea, and it pertains to the Mets as well. Like, okay, well, all these guys had big years. Bring them all back.
Yeah.
No, it can't just be the easy thing. Well, yes, statistically they had decent years. Bring them all back. What do you think's going to change with that? So, like, statistically, you could look at Sauce and say, well, here's how he grades out, and I can't give up him because he's the one rare guy that the Jets have hit on when they had a top selection. No, these are the type of difficult decisions that need to be made to start the process of turning this thing around. It's not an easy thing. He's a very popular player. I'm sure within the locker room, within the fan base, we know about that, and we know that he could be an effective player based on some of the metrics. Also, if you watch him, he's been disappointing from what he was supposed to be. But let that now be the Colts' problem. Point is, it's a very difficult thing to do, and that's why I give Muji and Glenn credit for doing it and executing at a high level, bringing back what they did.
Yeah, that's why I said to Sal before, like, this gives you a look into Muji's mindset. So this should, I think, embolden Jet fans, at least as you get into eventually the offseason. That if there's a big swing to be taken, obviously Muji's not afraid to do it. But now here's a little sobering just to kind of balance everything out here. So the 2 first-round picks they got back for Jamal Adams, that equated to Elijah Vera Tucker and Garrett Wilson. Now, see, this is the thing. Joe Douglas actually hit on both of the players. Right. AVT stud, can't stay healthy. Garrett Wilson stud, he's been healthy for the most part, but it hasn't changed the bottom line. All this does is represent opportunity while resetting the finances. Correct. And reestablishing the direction of, like, the DNA of the team and the vision of the people who are now building the team.
In year one.
Yeah. It's not year 3. That's a good point.
It's not year 3. There's not convoluted. The head coach was here, but then he got fired. A new GM came in. It's year 1. There's cohesion because it's Muji and Glenn starting this thing together. And in this first year, it's not waiting till year 3 to figure out Sauce ain't it or whatever it may be. Stockpiling now in the first year, knowing, okay, we're trying to build the culture. Let's win some games. If there's a quarterback that they love in the draft this year, boom, they strike. If not, they pass and wait till next year. Like, that's what you want. The timeline is in a very good spot. It doesn't guarantee anything, but I like this structure and setup being on the same timeline with the new guys here and letting them take their shot at trying to rebuild.
Now, you don't make a move just to, get the vultures away from the carcass here, but think about the conversation. Really, most of this season, man, Aaron's he's pretty. We just have the conversation. Yeah. Now, you and I, it doesn't bother us here, because we realize what he's trying to do, but it has bothered some people. Man, this guy's really combative for a dude who's won one game. I mean, a little big for your britches there. Well, does anybody care what Aaron Gillette is, what he's going to say or how he's going to comport himself at the podium now? It's about the real stuff that matters. An exchange with Rich Cimini about the quarterback and who's starting and what I'm going to tell you and what I'm not going to tell you, what I'm ready to tell you or I'm not ready to tell you. That's all insignificant drivel that piles up for a loser franchise because there's nothing else to talk about. This is the stuff that matters.
But now go beat the Browns on Sunday, and that will help even more start to go in the right direction. Chris is in Jersey City. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys taking my call. Definitely the trade was a big shock to me, that just because it wasn't a name that we were really expecting. But the one thing that kind of comes to my mind, especially with the picks, a lot of people are saying that the Colts are going to be good and then we're going to get these late round, first round picks. My question is this: do you think that they make a move like this knowing that they are trying to avoid like a Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence kind of draft where they almost played themselves out of the number 1 pick? I'm kind of coming from the point of view of if they get more first-round picks and let's say they don't end up with the first overall pick,
they can move up and get them.
Draft, they can move up and get them.
It's possible. I mean, is that the impetus? I don't know fully, but it's a possibility.
Or as you said, go get a veteran quarterback, or not even a veteran quarterback, but somebody that's maybe disgruntled or needs a change of scenery. There are sometimes shocking let's just say it's the first thing that came to mind. I wouldn't want him, but just say that Ben Johnson by next year is like, you know what? I've now seen Caleb Williams up close and personal, and I want no part of him. And they decide to move him. Whatever it may be, it happened with the great example you had before with Stafford going from the Lions to the Rams, and then the Lions getting Goff. It changed the fortunes of both franchises. Those things can happen. And when you have that now, equity in draft capital, it puts you more so in play.
It puts you in play because now every big boy conversation, whether it's the first overall pick this year or the first overall pick next year, a quarterback, as we just said, who's maybe disgruntled, even behind the scenes, we might not know about it, who's really, really good and is already in the league. If he's going to be dealt, the Jets can now centrally insert themselves into every big discussion, and that's how you accelerate progress.
All right, that does it for us today. Thanks to Dove, and thanks to Hoff, as always, helping us out. Thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you. Back again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
Drake May is playing out of his mind. This is a very good balanced team, and I love what Mike Vrabel has done with it.